they can join and stuff and join before we start talking. So we're not just talking to ourselves. No, yeah, that's my guild. Yeah, that's literally my guild. So yeah, I'm still playing with them. Yeah, yeah, that's my guild. It's always been my guild. I started in October last year. I mean, at one point it did basically die, but I've revived it, and now we got like a lot of active people again. I mean, granted, a lot of them are new players, but you know, it is what it is. I don't care. I've never tried to be like the sweatiest guild. I just try and have fun in PvP. That's all I care about. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, again, we're not gonna probably ever be known as like the best guild at anything, but as long as like we have a memory and we have fun, that's all I care about. Yeah, we just found the MK backdrop, and let me tell you, it's fucking hidden, bro. I don't know if I want to tell people where it is because of how hidden it was, and I just happened to find it. Yeah, they added it in the patch. It's in the patch notes. Correct. It's a legitimate backdrop, like it's a real thing. It's a path. It goes towards GK. It goes north. Yeah, so it's a big deal basically. Well, yeah, but in MO1 it used to have the backdrop. So before now, Fabrinum was basically just as close and it has better calcs products like efficiency. But now with the backdrop, I don't know. It's gonna change up maybe some guilds' plans because of how much closer it is to like CC. They've probably been waiting, but I don't know because it's so close to launch at this point. Like that's that. I mean, depending on how deep rooted they were in Fab and how like their plans and like guilds they've associated with in Fabrinum, they might not be able to change now. It might be too close to launch at this point. Who knows? You know. I have my whole guild. They all ran up backdrop, so they're all probably exploring. I don't know where they went because it's kind of like confusing up in these mountains now. So I'll maybe just wait. Yeah. All right. All right. We got like 2 more minutes. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick before we get going here. I'll be right back 1 second. That 5 hour energy help, man. I feel rejuvenated. Like there's life in me. Oh, hello. Did you see that they added the domination too? I feel like you haven't even read the patch notes. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you should check them out. They're on the Mortal Discord. Or do you need a link, or I can send it to you? Probably. I usually just get it off the Mortal Discord. I honestly haven't looked at. I don't do it through Steam, but you probably could. Yeah, they said they told people. So now you can't really re-roll without getting hit with that penalty of like normalization. Yo, Daddy, how is it? I got lost. Did they find a path down? Okay, keep exploring. You're doing the Eternal Flames work. I ran into one of my guys again. Oh! Oh! Oh, I'm walking this shit. I almost just killed my desert horse. Little bump in the road, you know how it goes. Alright, you ready to get started on the podcast side of things?
Ours is more incur.
Oh yeah. Dude, the scaffolds legit got like 8 fucking elite guards on it now.
Oh
And
god.
and they'll snipe you for like 150 damage through like heavy armor.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2 new troll variations. Yeah, the dominate seal is gonna be cool. Alright, you can kick it off.
Alright, dope.
Maybe save that convo for the
All right, here we go, boys. All right, welcome, guys, to the Mortal Portal podcast. We got Ezzorath TV with me. Why don't you go ahead and tell the podcast a little bit about yourself and like kind of like your Mortal and your stream and you know what I mean, whatever
I've
you
been
want.
playing Mortals probably since like what the combat alpha or beta, right? Or was it alpha? Combat alpha. It was just a combat test. That
Right.
was when I first got into Mortal, and then I got a free key from that from Pat Wins. He hooked me up, and I was hooked to the game ever since. I never had to pay for it, so I can't say that I was like one of the first backers of the game, but I got to play it early, and after getting that key, I was so addicted. I think I pumped about 100 hours into the combat test, and then now I'm at about 700 hours in Mortal, and a lot of that was streamed live. Like what? I think I have like 600 hours streamed live of the game, so a lot of it's been shared with the community. I've
Hmm.
I've lived all lives in Mortal. I've been RPK. I did a little bit of ARPK. Done everything. I tried a little roleplay in the game. So I don't. I would say I don't really like belong to any one title, if that makes sense. So I'm a
Okay.
player. I'm a player of all play styles.
Defender of noobs, also Slayer of noobs. Depends on the mood, I guess.
Pretty
No,
much, I guess.
but yeah. So I mean, you're kind of like. I mean, it's not exactly, but you pretty much only play it when you're live because like 600, 700 hours, you said, sort of thing.
Yeah, that became a habit after I was full time streaming last year. Now I just recently started streaming or playing the game more off stream, just to be able to play it more casually and do things that are not content worthy, if that makes sense.
Right. And I feel like honestly from at least my perspective, like the game is a lot funner off stream because of like the content you're able to do without like because like sure I could stream like me doing Spider Cave and maybe like sometimes it'll go successfully, but like I'm also like putting my whole group at risk just for my own content, you know what I mean? So it kind of is like I don't know, adds like a level of stress to that.
I always felt bad when I played with BKO and other groups about that exactly, because
Yeah.
I was exposing all of them to getting stream sniped. Most of the time I felt like it actually went well. We didn't get stream sniped that bad through the stress test, and I think that's a good example of what we might see at launch. There might just be a lot more streamers and a lot more food for all the wolves to grab at instead of you getting picked on specifically. Because when you're only one of the 5 or 6 streamers in the streaming pool in the Twitch directory, you're a lot more often of a target.
Well, yeah, I mean, so what it's gonna, I feel like what it's gonna come down to is like the area you live in and just basically how likable you are. So if like the people in your area they like you, and like you're one of like 3 streamers in like let's say the Morinker area, and like
Yeah.
you're streaming, like chances are you probably won't get stream sniped, right? But like if you're like kind of like one of those guys who just reacts super bad to getting stream sniped, or like you just like people just don't like you and you're streaming, and there's people in your area who are willing to just go out and like fuck you up, and they know where you are, you'll probably get stream sniped more. So it's just gonna like depend, honestly.
I agreed, and I definitely felt like I saw that too. Like I remember we had more problems in Meduli, and I couldn't survive in Meduli, so I can't say that stream sniping wasn't something that didn't happen to a severe degree because I couldn't live in Meduli. It was the stream sniping was too bad in Meduli, but
Yeah.
I could live in any other city but Meduli. If I went near Meduli, it seemed like people could just see in the Twitch directory that I was in the desert and they were coming for my ass.
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. Like, especially because you were BKO, and like I think
Right.
Kodo hates you guys, right?
Yeah, BKO did not have a good relationship with Kodo.
Or your Legion, right?
They had a lot of different fights in Vada with Legion, but Kodo has a pure hatred for BKO. Legion was pretty bad too, but
so it was like
Legion
more
was
respectful.
like a PK fight. Yeah, Legion was like, we're both PKers, we're both RPKing sometimes, right? Kodo was like they literally wanted us off the video game.
Oh, okay. I actually thought it was like more the other way around. From what I knew, I thought it was like Legion fucking hates you guys because didn't you guys live in Vada or something?
Yeah, we gave them a lot of shit, but I felt like Legion. It was just more expected from Legion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, cause like they kind of like wanted the fights and shit, right?
Right.
You know,
how mad they couldn't get that mad about it.
You know what? Like I'm not even when I say this because I will talk shit about Kodo, but when I'm saying this specifically, I'm not really talking shit about Kodo. Like it seems like because like when like a group goes to Meduli, and this has happened so often, not just BK or anybody. Like a group will go to Meduli and they'll go to the graveyard. They'll poke the graveyard because they know Kodo will come out, but then Kodo will react in a way like yeah, good fight, or like they'll talk shit about someone like killing like some noob in the graveyard, but it almost seems like they don't want PvP groups to come to Meduli based on their actions. It's like, well, don't come to Meduli if you don't want to get zerged. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like their response is like, don't come to Meduli at all. You know what I mean? So they don't. It doesn't seem like they want PvP groups to come to Meduli, but at the same time, like they're like they'll tell people to come to Meduli, but every time someone does, they're like, well, don't come to Meduli if you don't want to get zerged. I don't know.
Right.
It just seems like they don't want.
They're just calling for really. If they're saying if you want to come to Meduli, you're gonna have to bring a really big group, pretty much, to fight back. And there was times we did that, and I think that was where I probably built my worst reputation in Mortal. Mm-hmm. But it was not out of like ill intent. I was just having fun. Like there was multiple times when the guards were broken, BKO went into Meduli when Kodo was outnumbered. So we took advantage of those times that we knew, okay, Kodo doesn't have everyone online. And we would go in and we would kill everyone in Meduli. We would kill like just AFK players, everyone. And that's Mortal though. That's Mortal Online. Like you get caught with your pants down in the game, that's what happens. And that's just how we were reacting to them kind of talking so much crap all the time about being such a giant guild and being able to defend that town so well. But in that, in doing that, I think I built more of a reputation killing random players than I did Kodo themselves. But it was really just mostly between Kodo and BKO.
Yeah. Like they're pretty much they're a really strong like EU time zone guild, but if you go there like late in A, there's like nobody. Like they're not. I mean, there's not going to be like a formal group. There'll probably still be like a lot of Kodo, like incoms or whatever. But they're not like they're not ready for like a fight per se. Late in A, like let's say like 10 p.m. Eastern or something or later. Like they kind of fall off a bit there, like time zone wise. It seems like at least from what I hear. And And that, I mean, that's all guilds. Like, you're all gonna have your primary times, and then you're gonna have your shittier times where like, you know, less events are happening, so people are like, not really in comms or anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, fuck, I kind of spaced on where I was going with that. Not gonna lie. Are you baked right now, by
Good.
the way? Someone said in chat, fresh baked Ezo.
No, everyone tells me that. I'm just chilling, man.
Oh shit. Do you smoke? You don't smoke?
Sure, I do sometimes, yeah.
Okay. I mean, you kind of look like a pothead.
Yeah.
You just gotta give me those vibes. Like you just like chilling. That's why I think people say it.
No, everyone gives me that. Everyone gives me that. I got it. I got it all the way back in high school, bro.
Damn, dude. I think it's just your eyes, like how like you know what? You kind of like look like Mr. Beast. Has anyone ever told you that?
Mr. Beast. No.
Dude, you look like Mr. Beast. Like you look like you could be his brother. You've never. Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Beast.
yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
Like your the way your eyes sit and rest, and like your smile. You look like Mr. Beast. I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's funny. Now that I'm like looking at, it, I can't get that image out of my head.
I guess now I look like Mr. Beast. Someone else told me I look like Tony Stark. I liked that one. I'll take that.
Tony Stark. Well, yeah, a little bit. I think you look way more like Mr. Beast though. So what are your kind of plans going into lunch? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I mean everyone asked me that, and as like, and with my reputation from going from uh RPK like crazy to trying to stay out of the political limelight of the game entirely, I'm just gonna try and play solo for the first month of launch for sure, and let the political dynamic of the game unfold. And
Okay.
if I really want to, maybe by that point, find one of the people I want to join.
Okay.
I don't look like ET.
Yeah. They're doing you dirty in there, man. Horizon's fucking I'm toxic apparently. No, I wasn't even really trying to talk shit about Kodo. It's just like because they have like weird reactions. It's like on one hand they're like, you know, they're inviting PvP by saying like, yeah, if you come to Medulla, you're gonna get Zerg, and then when someone does, there's like, they're like, well, don't come to Medulla if you don't want. You know, I don't know. It just seems I get mixed signals. Really, is what it is. I don't even know if they're a PvP guild, to be honest with you, because one day Horizon was making fun of me for having alliances because apparently Naps are alliances now, and he was saying like I have an alliance, and then one of the Kodo guys, I think it was Parsifal. He's like I think he's like an officer, or he at least runs events and shit for Kodo, and he was saying like, well, you can't be a PvP guild if you have Naps, and I'm like, dude, how many Naps must Kodo have? Like they must have at least 20 to 30 Naps, right? With all these fucking different guilds. And I'm like, so is Kodo like I was just thinking, I'm like, is Kodo not a PvP guild? And I don't now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if they label themselves as a PvP guild. I really don't.
Labels on guilds or whatever. I mean, they might be a PvP guild. I know that I remember distinctly in the stress test, I remember them actually saying they were like ARPK and defensive of Medulla specifically.
See, that's the thing. I know.
That's like the premise of their guild, I guess.
That's the thing too. Is I know why you would say that they would have said that they are ARPK. I've never seen it. The only thing I've ever seen them state like publicly, like Hyuna used to say it, or maybe Kuthara used to say it, I don't know. Don't quote me. But is that they would defend Medulla against like griefers, but outside of Medulla, they would do roams in RPK. Like outside of their territory, They don't give a fuck. That's what I remember.
Maybe that's the right way to kind of, I guess, word them. They are defenders of Medulla, like Horizon said in chat. They do it around Medulla, but
yeah, outside I think they'll RPK basically.
Right.
So I think it's like that empire builder logic. Like these are our lands and we'll defend them. Outside of that, we don't care. You know what I mean, sort of thing. So
and I mean some guilds are pure RPK where they don't ally with other RPK guilds and they're pure PvP, right? And then there's some guilds that do all these naps and it's gonna be really a really messy political dynamic, I think, at the
God, that
launch.
I really think, even for myself, I really think we just need to get away completely from the whole RPK, anti-RPK. Like, we're just fucking guilds, man. Like, who
I agree. I
cares,
agree.
dude?
Even
Like,
though
it's so
I've said it probably
boring.
like 20 times, but yeah,
It's
I
so
agree.
boring trying to confine ourselves to these fucking rules, man. Like, we
I
like
think
you,
that's
we
probably
don't
what
like
killed Mortal.
you, you know?
That's probably what killed Mortal 1. Was the
Well,
fact that the game
there was
was
a lot of
separated
shit,
into,
but
I mean, that's one thing. From what I understand, there was pretty much two factions by the end of the game: ARPK or RPK. What, which side are you gonna fight on?
well, I think there was always like the Empire rule set too, because like how like Empire rule set kind of works in my mind, and this is how I define it to myself, is like this is our area, and we go off of not RPK or anti RPK, but we go off like relations. Like, okay, I've seen this guild. They're really cool. They use our trade broker. We're not going to kill them here, at least like what we consider our area. But outside of that, we'll probably kill them because it has nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they're not
I,
benefiting us.
I'm with that. That's cool. That's honestly like that's almost minimum level role playing practically. Like these
Yeah.
guys are cool. Like like that's like being territorial. You're being serious about an area. Like if you're stating a claim, like you own this spot in the game. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And
Um,
I think that's what this game's gonna thrive on. Definitely, is
if
groups taking that seriously.
yeah, if my plans for launch go like I think they will, I have like we took Central Step Keep or Castle, whatever they're calling it now, and we plan to take that same castle again at launch. Like I'm not even I don't hide that fact from anyone. Um, and if it does go well and we do get the castle, I've already like marked out like an area that we consider our territory, and it's not even like a big area. Also, there's nothing fucking in it, so I don't know why anyone would care. But like, I'm gonna make like a forum post and say like, hey, this is what AC considers our territory, you know, and then like we'll kind of have like laws and regulations. So like, if someone builds in our area and you get sieged down, like I gave forewarning. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. That's gonna be cool seeing how each different area could run into those different guilds or alliances or factions, whatever you're gonna call them, controlling them.
right.
I don't know how big AC is, acolytes. Are you guys a large alliance at this point? Or are you
Well,
just
no, we don't have an alliance. We're a guild. But we do have naps. So let me specify because fucking Rise is in chat. We have naps with a few guilds, but we don't have any official alliances. Like no one is mandatory going to come to like defend our keep or anything like that, and we're not obligated to go defend anyone's keep. And that's what I would consider an alliance is like mandatory obligations to come defend assets. That's the point of like friendship or whatever you want to call where I would consider an alliance. But we have naps to not attack other guilds. As a guild though specifically, we have like 40, 45 active right now. Like 80, 90% of them being new players, like that started with the Steam release. But we should have more people coming back for launch. You know, that's what people say anyway, so we'll see. I just go off of like current numbers. That's what I judge on at any given moment.
that's
Like
still
current numbers.
that's pretty big. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most we've had on recently was like, it was like 27 in voice comms at the same time for like something that we did in game. So yeah, like that's kind of like a gauge of how big we are currently.
Yeah, I'm sure the first guilds on launch to really get to that status to be able to have a keep, gain territory, they're gonna be the ones that have the knowledge of the game to get the resources they need to do that.
Oh,
so I'm
100%.
sure you guys probably have an edge for that.
There's definitely an edge for every guild that's playing the game currently. Every game or every guild, because I've seen like this one guy who's been in the MO Discord for like 7-8 months. His name is like DJ Ezzorath or something. Not like your Ezzorath, like a different way of spelling, like with an A or something. And I guess his guild is called Horde, and he pops into the MO Discord every once in a while. I just see him like type something, and he'll be like, "Yo, is the release date still for this?" Or you know, he's always asking me about the release date because he's gonna bring like his huge clan over. But I've messaged him before. I'm like, dude, you cannot wait for launch. You need to get into the game now and understand how the game works, because you're not going to come into launch and just dominate. It's just not going to happen. And just like with these like big Zerg clans, like even if OO, like they, because none of them play right now, right? But if they all came with even like 1,000 players at launch, I would put money that they wouldn't be able to grab a castle before a guild that's gonna play, that's already playing the game now, because you just don't know the routes, you don't know the most efficient way to gather or to make money or to do this or that, and they would be behind. Like they're gonna be behind, you know.
This game really makes you feel like a noob when you're new. Like, you need to learn a lot. Like, you know how to do nothing in this game when you first start playing.
Yeah, and there's no direction. Like you have like the Haven tutorials that teach you like some basics of like crafting and stuff, but like you leave Haven and then it's like even before you leave Haven, how do you even decide which town to pick? They're just names. Like they don't mean anything.
And honestly, I can't think of another video game I played, previously that prepared me for Mortal. There's no game that prepared me for a lot of the stuff that I've had to learn in Mortal. Maybe some directional combat games and stuff like that, but a lot of the stuff, like, it's just really unique to Mortal for me personally.
To be honest, and this might be like a weird take, but the only game that probably would prepare you pretty fucking well for Mortal is like Rust, because Rust is arguably more hardcore than Mortal, because as soon as you get in, you could die right there on the beach. I've died many times on a fresh wipe server on Rust, right there on the beach.
That's actually a good point. Survival games, some of the survival games I've played, like Rust, are probably the first example of what might get you a little bit prepared for what you could run into in Mortal.
Yeah.
But there's just so much. There's a lot of intricacy to all of the game's systems: crafting, combat, stamina, how it all works.
For sure.
It's really unique for an MMO, right? MMOs are usually a bit more cut and dry. Just kind of get a certain item level, equipment, get to a certain quality level, and you're good. But Mortal's pretty specific.
Northern Gambit in chat, he said, I do hope the outside guilds mess up with the vets plans though too. I honestly 100% agree with that. I hope, I'm just praying like somehow like the Chinese use some VPN, get on Steam and buy like 1,000 copies of this game and just fucking Zerg the shit out of it.
There's Asian guilds, so
right.
Henrik said there's Asian guilds getting ready.
No, there are.
Russian
SVSB
guilds.
is Asian.
Okay. There's Russian guilds, there's German guilds. So we'll see just how much we see from people that are foreign to us, like the North America, and then we'll see just how big some of the guilds we might know might be coming too. Like we might be seeing some larger survival guild, or like some streamer guilds kind of pop in on Mortal. Like I see a lot of them play like Empires and all that stuff. The Last Oasis guilds, the
Uganda, isn't that Forsen's community? Does anyone know?
Right. I think so. Like that's a massive. They have so many people whenever they pop in any game, and they're like that.
As far as I've heard, they're extremely toxic, right? Like they're pretty bad.
I mean, they're just straight for usually PvP and griefing. Those two things. There's a lot of communities like that hop between these games, and that's all they want to do. They want to find out how much they can grief, how much they can PvP.
Which would be toxic, right? Like, if that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, not the PvP part, but the griefing part, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they just came in PvP and were a good fight, that's not toxic at all. But if they come in and they're like, all right, how the fuck can I grief you? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's probably toxic. Like, but yeah, no, I mean, even that, I hope we see communities like that. I would love for this game to blow up in a big way, as big as it can with one server. The fuck? This guy's just randomly talking to himself. But no, there's definitely like Russians. There's like, I think SVSB is Taiwanese, if someone told me it was correct on that. They're Taiwan. I've seen some Vietnamese people. I know a guy in my guild, he's from the Philippines, so there's people all over in here for sure. There's Brazilian guilds, But no, I'm excited. I hope a Zerg comes. That would be so much content, to be honest. Like that would be so fun.
I think we might need it too to prevent pretty much the same position we're in right now at the end of the beta, at the end of the stress test. We also saw it. Um, the political dynamics getting a little bit dry in some ways, so everyone's getting bored. They're just freaking killing each other all day. So
Yeah.
maybe
There's nothing to aim for right now because
right,
everyone knows it's gonna wipe. So like it's like
yeah,
why invest my time into like building villages and like houses and making outposts around the map? It's gonna wipe. Like nobody's doing
yeah,
that. All they want to do
yeah,
is they want to learn. They want to get the most practice in now when it doesn't matter, so that when launch comes, they already got their fucking they
right.
got their hours in. They got the grind in already.
They gotta
So
learn. They gotta learn how to PvP now while they have a chance before the 100 times is gone, and it's a lot harder to do.
well, it is gone
Well,
now.
it's gone now. But
Hold on.
yeah,
Don't spread the false. Don't re-roll your characters,
yeah.
boys. But I mean, probably people will re-roll their characters now just to get a feel for it and like kind of get an idea of how long it's gonna
Oh,
take
I
at
will be.
launch.
I will
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna be
probably will too.
rerolling pretty soon here. I'll probably
Um,
be messing around a little bit more on my current character with my leftover resources, and then I'm gonna check out just how long it's gonna take for that stuff to build up.
whoa. Who's this guy?
I'm the best kid.
I found Booyah and get. He's like
Oh,
randomly an MK.
oh,
Do you know who Booyah is from Levia?
no, no.
Oh, okay. He's a really good like foot fighter. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should call him like a dueler. I don't know. I don't know how he
I
is
don't
in
know
foot
any of
fights.
the Levia players because I think a lot of them changed their names.
Oh, yeah, that's true. A lot of them change. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a character named Dress, for example, and he's like basically the guild leader of Levia. He's like one of the guild leaders, but he's like the only one that plays. So he's basically the guild leader of that guild. And I don't think I've ever seen a character named Dressed. He's always like Man of God, or Blade Style, or some other name, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. Like all the people that changed their names, I couldn't keep up with it, and I'm not in the circles to know. So there's a lot of people that are like probably vets that just shuffled their names around, and they're in the new guilds, and they keep changing their guild names too, which is also hard to keep up with. People are probably going to change their guild names again one more time for launch.
Um, Man, I don't know about that. Maybe some of them depends on like the guild. Like Miscreants might change their name because they don't care. Actually, I don't know. I feel like Miscreants are extremely proud of what they've accomplished in the beta, which is so weird. But like they seem like to have like a lot of pride for their fucking guild at this point. So props to them if they're having fun. Fuck it, dude. Like I never see them anymore. But does anyone know if Miscreants join like the Levy Alliance? Because it kind of is looking like that at this point. But I don't have any official word on that. They all seem to be living in Kranesh, like Kumbaya at this point, as far as I
I
can
haven't
tell.
seen them in Kranesh once. I spawn in Kranesh all the time.
Really? Every
Yeah.
time like I hear someone goes to Kranesh, they get like gang banged by Miscreants and shit. Maybe it's like just the time you play at. Maybe they don't
It's
play.
got to be the time. I play at the weirdest times.
Yeah, I don't know. And they've shown like a couple screenshots of them all like on the Kranesh buildings and stuff too.
Yeah, no, I don't run into those guys much. No,
No,
I
they're
have seen Red
allied with.
Garrett there.
Yeah, they said they're allied with Red Garrett and Mortem Vitium or something. I don't know how to pronounce that. Oz is in Cran every time I've been in there. Okay. Sounds like we got a lot of Cran guilds at this point. Because I know Content lives in Cran too, right? So Content, Levia. I think there's probably some VII there. Yeah. We got a few Cran guilds.
I've definitely seen VII there.
You have or haven't?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like they're all kind of running the same circles, I think.
Yeah, I had tons of gear left over because at one point BKO lived there. There, Vada, Fabernum, Mornkur, all those cities, I like had so much stuff left over from all the PvP fights that we did.
And you know what? Like, going back to like the like when we were talking about like if these outside guilds coming in and messing up with our plans, in the back of my mind, like because like okay, so back when AC had the split, like I don't even know how long ago it was. I want to say like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, something. Like the guild was basically dead, right? Like or at least a little bit after that, the guild became more dead because more people trickled out after we had the split, because like people would come back and like, oh, their friends left, and they're like, okay, well, fuck, like I may as well, I'm gonna find a new guild too, see how, because a lot of people, that was like their only guild up to that point, and they didn't know what being in another guild was like, right? So they want to try something else. Of course, it's natural, and no fault to them. Like I would get it too. If I wasn't the guild leader, I would have left probably. Um, but my point is when the guild died, I was so close to just like packing up and moving to the jungle and changing like everything about the guild. But there was like some core that stayed that really wanted to experience the like the castle content and like the TC side of things. So I ended up sticking with it, and more or less same plan, build a castle, like be an empire building guild essentially. But I'm hoping in like the back of my mind, like low key, that some Zerg guild just comes, destroys our castle, all of our assets, and there's like no hope that we can rebuild. So I'm just gonna move all my guild down to the jungle, and we're just gonna be like these savages that scream at you in VoIP while we're murdering you, and just like build our own little village down there, and that's like it. Like I'm hoping some guild comes and just ruins all our plans in a way.
Or the opposite could happen. You guys could build you could, because you were one of the first guilds here in Mortal, could end up building a really big empire on launch. There's a lot of people attracted to joining an established guild in the game. I would be. If I was playing Mortal for the first time again right now, I would want to play with a guild like Acolytes or someone else that's already been playing Mortal. I would not want to join a guild of people that just now are starting to play.
I did not pay him to say that. I'm just going on record.
Oh no!
Join Acolytes. No, I mean I agree with you. Like I would want someone to be able to teach me the game who's knowledgeable. Is what you're getting at, basically.
Right.
Yeah. No, this game's hard to learn. Who is Putz in interview? This is Ezzorath TV. He was like one of the bigger streamers back in like the first stress test, right? Like that's when you were playing with BKO and stuff. The first stress test.
Yeah, both stress tests and the combat beta. I think I was probably one of the first people to stream the game in the combat beta. No one else was streaming it. Yeah, no one else streamed the game.
I was gonna ask, did you play MO1?
No, I was too young. I'm only 22 years old. So like MO1 released when I was like 10. So it didn't hit my radar.
You weren't playing MO1 when you were at 10? What the hell?
No, I was busy playing WoW because that was what was on my radar.
I feel like you played Minecraft. Did you play Minecraft?
Yeah, I definitely played Minecraft. I PvP'd the fuck out of Minecraft.
I don't know, just you give me Minecraft vibes. I was the
best faction PvPer in Minecraft.
No, I was gonna ask then, how do you know Pat wins? How did he give you a key?
Stream. Because I was one of the only people streaming. That's how I basically got a streamer base from Mortal, is because I was the only person streaming.
Wait,
I was the only person in the directory.
Okay, so wait, you were streaming Mortal.
There was a free weekend in the combat beta.
Oh, and then he gave you a key to keep playing.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I was confused. Okay, now I understand. Okay.
Yep. I got into that free weekend because I wasn't ready to pay into the game.
Damn, so low-key Pat Woods was investing in you.
Yeah. He invested for Henrik into me.
You know he has his own guild now, right? Like CTX? Actually, it'd probably be a perfect fit for you because they don't have any alliances and they're just like a straight PvP and they do like merc contracts and stuff. They have some really good people, like skill-wise in there too, so that might be a good fit for you. If not, like a temporary thing. I mean, I would bully you all day. Look at those sweet cheeks. You wouldn't last in prison. Everyone wants a piece of that Mr. Beast, you know what I'm saying?
Northern Gambit asked in chat, what do you think about the build zone around graveyards right now?
Wait, say again, what?
What do you think about the build zone in graveyards right now?
The build zone in
graveyards. Like you can build kind of close to the graveyard right now.
Oh, can you? I mean, maybe that's probably not like a Morin-Kerr thing because of how the graveyard's positioned in the mountains. But
right,
are you talking about like Meduli probably or something like that?
I think it's at Fab. I think it's more at Fab. It might be at Meduli too.
Oh, you know what? I have seen the houses at Fab. Yeah. What do I think? I mean, graveyard's gonna be like a hot zone either way, houses or no houses. So the house can only be accessed by one person because you have to be the owner to open the door, as far as I know. So it's really not that big of a deal. And again, like it's hard to understand why in a way, but graveyards will and always have been a hot zone for PvP, like for griefers. Or not just griefers, but people who are pinging the town for PvP. They go hit the graveyard, and then so people will come out and fight them. And whether
Yeah.
you have a house there or not, doesn't matter. It's still gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just something quite established in Mortal at this
And
point. You always go to the graveyard to find
yeah,
what's going on.
that is until we have like the TC in to build like our own villages, and people get more and more away from towns. That's just how it's gonna be. That's how it's always been, and so I don't think it affects it really much. I think it's just how it is.
I don't think it's that bad for most territory in the game. My cat just jumped up here.
It might be worse with houses, but it was still going to happen. I mean, it's better to know guaranteed there's someone at the graveyard who's going to murder you rather than like a good chance, right? Because then you know in the back of your mind, like you're banking on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance anything that's so exposed right there outside the city. I don't know for sure if there's going to be guilds with the resources to be wiping just houses for fun to kind of just grief houses, but they might be doing that. There might be certain guilds that just try and attack certain houses and stuff like that because they want maybe the resources or the chest that's inside.
What is your cat looking at?
Me, she wants my attention.
She's like looking at your hand. Or I was going to say something else, but that's probably inappropriate. She's like looking straight down at you, like, just staring, like she's about to attack you or something.
Oh, she will actually. She'll try and start swatting at me if I don't pet her and give her attention. She's that needy.
I want a kitty.
Or get her treats or something.
Yes. Yes, or a puppy. I really want a German Shepherd, actually. Stop saying no. Fucking burn this house down. He said, Horizon said, I can guarantee you certain blobs will knock over anything they can when sieging is in. It just depends how expensive sieging is and how, like, logistical nightmare it's going to be. It just really depends.
Right.
There's a lot.
They got to be. I mean, it's going to be a part of the game. Like, raising a village is just like, I can just already imagine that's got to be a griefing guild's wet dream. Just being able to just grief, just raise someone's whole village. Like,
yeah, but Henrik has already said it's going to be like you're not going to just siege for recreationally, right? I mean, some guilds might still just to like prove a point or something, but like he said, it's going to be very hard to even like siege houses, let alone like whole villages and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be that rampant.
I'm terrified to stream my house. I don't think I'm going to be able to stream my house ever in Mortal.
Why?
Because I feel like I feel like already with the amount of people I killed, that someone would want to build up the resources to siege that.
I mean, you shouldn't be keeping anything super valuable in your house anyways. Like, that's just like kind of like a rule in Mortal. Like, you don't ever keep anything that you would want to lose inside your house, because why wouldn't you just keep it in a bank somewhere where it's 100% safe, you know?
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Like, I feel like the cities are just so secure. What's the storage ability in a house seems so much less important than what's going to be inside your city. So that's probably what I'm going to go with too. I'm probably going to have my more important resources always in the city. But you always have to deal with reputation then, which is hard.
Well, they just buffed reputation, so I haven't tested it yet, but even Thurstar's got some sort of buffed with the reputation.
Hopefully it's not too bad now. We'll see.
Well, I don't know if they added the new task. Actually, I'm going to go check right now while I'm just running around doing nothing. But basically they're going to add more different types of tasks, and now it's not a dice roll for the reputation when you turn it in. It's guaranteed 1 for anybody, I think, maybe even Thursars, and then anything additional is a dice roll. So you could actually get multiple rep from one parcel run now, for example. I think it's
that's kind of cool. That's
what it said in the patch notes anyway. So that's what I'm going.
I mean, that's not the worst thing to have like RNG associated with in the game.
Well, I think the 1 being guaranteed is needed because it was super fucking annoying. But anything additional being a dice roll, I would agree with. That's fine. That's good. What do you think is the best build to play right now? What do you think?
That's a hard bet. I mean, most people would play.
I mean, I guess it depends on what they're doing too, right?
A lot of people are playing Vila right now.
It's just so weird because I don't even think they changed much about them. I think people are playing Vila mostly for like the stamina changes, but I'm not sure. And the rep changes probably
Well, on
too.
a Vila, you get the most room for stamina, right? So like, you get more room for outplayability with stamina.
Actually, no. I think you get way more rep on the Thursar or Ogmir.
Rep, yeah. You don't get good rep on Vila, no. You
No,
get
no, no.
bad rep.
I'm talking about stamina.
Oh, stamina.
They have better stamina region. Vios have the
Right.
best, but the others have bigger stamina pools.
Right, but the pool's not important. The regen's important when you're actually in the middle of a melee fight because you can just stop, stand still, and regen super fast. It makes it so the fainting and stuff's less punishing. I think for the Vila, um, they can do so much more while just regenerating a lot quicker. Um, so the players that know how to use that really well and have been playing long enough to see other people use it first, and they're catching on to it. They're doing it now. Vila also has a lot of free stat pool, right? You get like if you want to play archery, you get like 114 bows, no problem. You get
Mm-hmm.
like what 35 levels I think free into archery or something, so that frees up. You could go melee and archery no problem on a Vila. Um, and I think there's a lot of benefits to going hybrid Vila too. I think
Yeah, you can fit points on your Vila without even really trying into int. Like,
right,
I think I had like 70 int on my Vila, and I still had max like strength dex con.
right,
So,
yeah. So even the cybrid builds, like the anti mage builds, those are really, I think,
wait, what'd you call it?
like a cybrid because they go really high in psych and they don't have any magical ability other than like purifying and magic reflects and corrupts and stuff like that. So they don't actually cast like normal magic, but they cast all the magic they need to stop a mage from doing damage to them. So those builds are pretty common because of how powerful mages are in general. Like what is the first, like as a good player, what is the first thing you need to avoid now? You can avoid arrows. It's hard to land on you. You can parry an attack. You can you can kill a melee player. What is the mage is the thing that's slowing you down now because all they have to do is land a flick shot on you.
Mhm.
So I feel like those cybrid builds are just becoming really common because people hate dealing with a mage inside of a melee fight. A
Oh,
mage is just so painful. Like I hate it when I'm parrying, my magic reflect goes off, and then all of a sudden, two more fulminates coming at me. I'm like,
that face. Yeah. I think Vila is a good um it's a good starting class. I mean, it really just
I
depends on
think
what
it's
you're
actually
doing.
hard. I think Vila kind of like an Ogmir is kind of hard to play. I feel like Ogmir is also kind of harder to play. While I feel like
Ogmir?
Thursar, yeah, sorry, Ogmir, and I feel like Thursar and Human are easier to play.
I feel like Ogmir is one of the easiest things to play because it's the most defensive.
Maybe, yeah. I guess, yeah. I just feel like they're hard to understand like their benefits offensively. Like a lot of my Ogmir friends that would play, they just could not stamina. They could not use their stamina appropriately. They would always run out of speed. Like they couldn't catch people. They would it would be hard for them to actually win a PvP fight if the guy decided to turn around and run away from them.
Mm.
But that's also just a lot of the Augs I probably played with. Um, maybe Augs kind of let you mess up more. Maybe like, but humans also are probably a really easy starting build for most people. Vila, I've always felt is really punishing personally as a melee player but I've always dealt with it. But I just my the damage bonus is so much lower on a Vila, while meaning that if I make any mistakes as a Vila with that low of a damage bonus, I'm putting myself at serious risk trying to trade against someone that has twice as much damage bonus as me. It means that I have to be able to play at the skill level to not take that damage as a Vila. I feel
Well,
like.
yeah, Vilas. I mean, the Vilas are really like terrain dependent. Also, like if you there's like a fence nearby or there's water or something, your build's gonna be a lot better for fighting because it's like kind of like a kiting build. It's like a mage diving, kiting, kind of ratting build. So
Right.
anyone who's playing Vila right now is usually like who knows better is usually like a really skilled player and can make use of like its capabilities like running down people and stuff like that. I feel like anyways because like
Right.
Ogmirs and Thursars are just like 100%. They're just better frontliners, but they might not be able to chase someone down like a Vila could. Like they
Right.
don't have the potential there.
In any BKO fight, they would have preferred me to be an Og or a Thurstar for exactly that reason if I was just trying to play frontliner. And that's why I learned that my build then wasn't really a frontliner. I was more of a exactly what you described. I was more of a I would nosedive into their into the enemy team, finish killing someone, and then try and get out super fast. Stuff like that. Secure
Yeah.
those kills.
Yeah, for sure. Like Vilas make like the best mage divers. Like either push in through the front line or kind of like flank around somehow and get to their mages, and you can just sticky them. And then if you get in trouble, well, you got a whole bunch of fucking clades to help you get the fuck out of there. So, that's really like I think their main purpose. What's up, Gucci? Did they change the skill gain yet? Yes, they did. This patch is now you've lost your 100x. I don't know if clades start at 0. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's reset now. It's normalized. So if you make a new character, good luck to you, my friend. By the way, I'm just going on record. I have not seen any other guild find the MK backdrop yet, and let me tell you, it's pretty fucking wonderful. Our guild found it within like the first like 5 minutes. It's very hidden, but it is there. And it goes north.
I can't wait to find that myself because I've always lived in MK so long.
Yeah, it's me and Ezzorath were talking about that right before we went live because I told him we found it or whatever. I think it might end up changing up a lot of guilds' plans because now MK has a way to go straight towards GK. So I'm wondering if we're gonna see like Bear or TC Alliance come up to MK now. But they might be so deep rooted in Fabrinum with the politics that who knows? They might not be able to switch up their plans so close to launch. I don't know.
I think we're gonna see a lot of guilds move over to MK.
Possibly. Yep.
Maybe.
It's very possible.
But the lack of Sabura. That
Well, no, they have
hurt it
Sabura now.
bad. Wait, what?
There's
They added
Sabura
it again in the patch notes now?
No. It got added like 2 or 3 patches ago. There's Sabura in the plains now. It's not as much as it was before, but you can get Sabura.
Oh, so you can go out in the plains outside Mornkur to get Sabura
Yeah,
now?
they're scattered around the plains, but you don't need that much Sabura anyways. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, MK is pretty great. It was just kind of like the scaffold was fucked because there was no guards, and then the red gates also had no guards, and you could just die at the stables. But it's all fixed now. There's like elite guards all over the fucking place. So good luck to the creepers.
There's gonna be probably scuffed spots. It's such a big city.
No, you can still get camped at like the very bottom of scaffolding, like before the graveyard, because there's no guards there. But like on the scaffolding, where like your horse is kind of like dog shit useless, like that's gone. So if you can get to the bottom scaffold and make it through possibly a group, you know, because your horse can actually run at full speed and shit. But no, it's a lot better than it was, and that's all you needed really.
Agreed. I mean, it's such a big city. You got to take your horse everywhere with you. On launch, that's going to be so painful for anyone living in Mornkur. You're going to have such long walks between anything.
Right. For sure.
It's going to be bad. I struggle to live in Mornkur without a horse. I'm wondering how long it's going to take to get a horse now on launch. That's what I want to test.
Oh, that spawn's going to be dead, dude. Gonna be dead. Probably the 2 spawns out west, like the closest spawns, will probably be dead too. I'm sure. People will just be targeting your horse because it hurts to kill your horse more than to kill you.
Honestly, probably.
So we'll see.
It's gonna be so much walking.
Even like for like the size of Mornkur and even like the terrain around it, foot fighting is actually super prominent here because like if you think about it, like for example, we fought Tianming like 4 weeks ago on the west road going out of Mornkur, that long lengthy road, and we were 4 or 5 mounted versus like there's like 7 or 8 footies, and they had one mounted, but we ended up killing his horse, so they became a foot group. We could not finish them, like because like they all had longbows and shit, and they were just like poking our horses. Like it's so hard to push a foot group as like a mounted group, and yeah, we were harassing them, and we were just kind of seeing if they might run out of like supplies like arrows or bandages or something, and we kept because we could keep disengaging and re-engaging at will because we had the horses and they didn't. Um, but like that road is super narrow, and so like playing footy on that road, like playing a foot group that roams up and down that road, or even down the scaffold into like the Toxai Valley area, like that area is super prominent for foot groups too because of all the bamboo, the river, like the little fucking cliffs and rocks, like super prominent for foot groups. So you could see
we were just talking about Vilas.
Yeah, no, Vilas would be super good in that area for sure, 100%. I would rather play a Vila down between MK Toxai than other races for sure.
That's definitely why I've always enjoyed it there. I moved to MK at the end of the stress test, and I think that's one thing I've discovered right away. Like when I lived in Meduli, the mounted builds are so strong, but dealing with a mounted archer or a mounted, even probably a mounted like axe wielder or anything, would probably be a lot easier over by MK.
No, it would be. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could still play mount. Like once you hit the plains, mounted, it just becomes mounted build, right? Like dominant, and more incur. But you do have to get past that road, so that's gonna be like, that's a thing. Like once you're a foot group and you're in the open plains, your advantage goes way down, right?
Yeah.
Like it just does. Although I don't feel like any mounted build is super strong right now. Since they nerf fat mages, like MC still sucks. MA is good, but you can't even really kill one foot fighter as an MA if he has one longbow.
So you're saying if you would have went down that path and you feel like you were off your mounts, you think you would have been able to take the fight better?
Oh, we did. We pushed them to their stronghold, which was a little bit more open, but they still had some like terrain. But again, it's like, how do you finish a foot fighter if you have equal numbers and they have a mage who's casting like at twice the speed of your fat mage or who's mounted? Like, how do you finish someone? You know what I mean? Unless you like one shot them with like a fat mage, or like you get like a really good fucking like spear mounted hit. Like it's really hard to finish a foot group as a mounted group. Usually both groups end up on foot, and you have to duke it out there. So
that sounds rough because I have not ran into many mounted melee fights at all. Obviously some mounted archery fights, but this was all before we had to deal with horse armor to the degree we do now. So I've had so limited experience dealing with mounted builds with the new horse armor. We used to just hop off our horse and shoot down theirs, right? It was easy as that,
Yeah, and I hope people aren't taking this as like factual information. These are just my experiences that I've seen and what I've seen from other people's videos and stuff. This is just the information that I gather. This isn't factual. Someone's definitely gonna have like a different opinion. Like maybe like someone like Schmerich who only plays MA will be like, "Oh no, I kill foot fighters easily all the fucking time." I don't know, but I'm just saying this is my own experiences. So
right.
Just before I get some like kid like, "You're a fucking idiot. You fucking get flopped in 0.5 seconds. I'm a fat mage. I kill everybody." It's like, all right, dude. Well, good job. Like, I don't know. Like, shit. Like I still see free horses talking to MO Discord like fat mages are stronger than ever. It's like they're not, but okay. Like when they did that, I don't know if you were here, but they did the Dex mage or the Dex nerf to mounted builds. Did you know about that or?
I did. I heard about it, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing.
So basically, fat mages they basically can't even like turn anymore, especially like Ogmirs who had like 10 Dex. You know what I mean? Even on my human fat mage build where I had like 60 Dex, it was horrible. Like absolutely trash, and I don't know. It was definitely a nerf. Schmerich doesn't kill foot fighters in his MA. I just juke him after he kills my horse, then he runs. I mean, that's kind of what I expect. That's been my experience with it too. Like if they have a longbow, they're gonna like be hitting my horse for like 60s, and I'm gonna be hitting them as an MA for like 30s at best, And they're a smaller target, so it's just like I don't really see you winning that fight. So I don't know. I mean, at most, like you'll. This is how I see like an MA versus a foot fighter who's mounted going. Like the MA is obviously going to kill your horse, right? But then what? Then he's going to have to like shoot you, who's a much smaller target. You pull out your longbow, and worst case or best case scenario for the MA, like your horse dies, and then you take the fight on foot, and then you kill him because maybe you pinged him a little bit already, and he's already at half HP or something. and then you end up winning the fight on foot. But with builds, like I would feel like the foot fighter would just win you out with the skills that they'll have over yours. Like maybe he'll have like defensive and aggressive stance, and you don't have either because you couldn't fit him. You know, I don't know. That's just I don't really see MAs winning.
That's where all the that's where all the MMO aspects come into the game. It's skill based. So if the mounted archer, like you said, maybe you brought up Schmerich, who I've never met yet, but if he's that good at mounted archery, maybe someone like that could pull it off. That's where like the game's definitely skill based, but it's also it's still an MMO, and we are limited by like the skill points and the material we're using with our weapons and all that. So, right, as soon as that, you could just get demolished by a foot fighter, even if you are, a mediocre parrier yourself.
What the fuck? Fucking bloody. He's looking like an Acolyte Zerg and MK, dude. What the fuck? We don't do Zerg mentality here. Come on, guys.
Horizon talking crap.
Is he talking crap? Oh, he was saying MA dinks for 8 damage versus steel. Yeah, I saw that when you were talking. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Apparently steel's like really good for against arrows. Carry it back on my way over.
Steel's always been really good against arrows, as far as I know. Yeah, it's just not a lot of people can wear steel casually.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to see
how many
fast
builds can fit that.
A lot. I mean, if you're a foot fighter and you have heavy armor, you can pretty much wear steel. Maybe not like a full steel set, but at least like torso or something, like torso legs.
I would go helmet torso. I would probably wear helmet torso or even sleeves torso.
If you're mounted, legs are good.
Yeah, maybe legs. I don't know. I feel like legs are always a good thing to skimp out on.
Well, because if you're mounted, like, and you're fighting like a foot fighter or someone shooting you with arrows, like your legs are a much bigger target than if you're on foot.
Yeah, you're right.
Head's gonna be a lot harder to hit. Most can fit. Some just think it's more labor intensive. Yeah, like it takes a lot longer to get the steel than to wear like something like I don't know, like reptilian carapace, because now you can fish for turtles and shit too. So a lot easier to get reptilian carapace now.
It depends how much you really want to decrease. How much magic do you want to resist, really, Giga? I mean, like, what is a good amount to you? I would say probably most people above 60 psych are not as good of a target in a fight as a mage, if that makes sense. Like, as a mage, if they're hitting someone and they have 60 plus psych, they might notice that person has a bit more resistance to their fulminations and stuff.
Oh yeah, they added the new Niter spiders to the caves now. Did you see that in the patch notes? What was it? What did they add? They added flingers and guardians. Can someone in chat confirm?
Ooh,
I can't look at the patch notes.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so we're not going to just have those weak ass workers anymore. Now the caves are actually going to be like brutal.
That's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be cool. And they added domination with that. Oh man.
Yeah, they added.
I can't wait to see people.
New type of Minotaur.
Oh man, people are gonna be dominating right off the bat. They're going for. It's gonna be so cool to see it,
man. Dude, he looks like Mr. Beast. Hold on, I gotta pull up a Mr. Beast photo. Dude, he looks like Mr. Beast. Hold on, dude. I gotta find this shit. Let's see. Mr. Beast photo. Dude. Look at this smile. You're gonna tell me this doesn't look like him. Hold on, dude. Let's see. I gotta pull up this photo next to your face. Wait, smile? Even the mustache looks fucking similar, dude. Dude, you guys could be brothers. I'm not kidding, dude. Does anyone else see this? Yes, he does, dude. Look at that.
I don't know about that. We're not far off, I guess.
I don't know, man. I can't stop seeing it now. No. Whatever, dude. What were we even talking about? Oh, we were talking about the spiders and shit. Mr. Beast looks terrible compared to the model we got on Twitch, dude. Dude, you're a fucking lead. Hey, what's up, Vanard? How's it going, brother?
Oh, what up, my good sir?
You're good, sir? A young Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi? Oh, what is he
Jeez.
playing? I don't know who that is.
You've never had like Buscemi's pizza? So
No,
good.
never in my life.
Steve Buscemi. Yeah, he kind of looks. Yeah.
Now I gotta look. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Is that like a compliment? Steve Buscemi. Dude, the guy I know who that is. Dude, the guy looks like a crack.
Right. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. I'll let you.
Oh my god, dude. Guy
Didn't
looks
have
like
to
a
do
straight
Steve that bad,
crackhead.
man.
Oh my god, dude. Well, he said you look like him.
Yo, no, but I'm like the non-cracked out version. I'm cracked out at playing video games.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, dude. He's old. He's not like an actor. He's
Yeah.
old, like the wrinkles and shit.
Yeah. At that point, maybe just Coke. Anyways, Team Rocket blasting off again. Vayner to hell.
Facial
Yeah,
structure.
I've barely ran into Team Rocket since I came back, but
like they're inactive. Damn, you're.
no.
Oh my
no.
god. Ezzorath TV just said Team Rocket
Just-
is a dead inactive guild and they're
No,
shit.
I just thought it was interesting.
I'm just kidding.
They're probably waiting for launch.
He's blasting off to MK. Dude, come to MK. You gotta find that backdrop. Spend half an hour looking for it.
I need to, actually. I need to do that. I need to find the backdrop now.
Oh, let me full screen. Fuck. My bad. I have my OBS up on my vertical monitor because I'm playing Mortal right now. I usually don't do it this way, so it's on like a different monitor completely. It's weird. So now I'm looking to the right to read chat. It's actually why I got the vertical monitor was for like Twitch chat. Literally never use it for Twitch chat. Like I always end up using it for Discord.
I wanted a vertical monitor, but I never got one. I just got a regular monitor because it's cheaper.
How many monitors do you have? You just have the one or two?
I have 3 monitors. I have one Alienware in the middle that has that's like the higher hertz monitor, and then I have 2 like super basic 60 hertz 1080p Acers on each side. So I have 3 monitors. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like the setups that I've seen lately where it'll be like 3 monitors across like horizontal, and then they'll have like the big ass TV up in the back on the wall. I would get a setup like that preferably. I think that would be like the most optimal.
I have the 1080p 25-inch version, 240 hertz one.
Yeah, a vertical monitor is a monitor that's up and down, not side to side. You know, in your display settings, it literally lets you turn your monitor to the side, right? Like that's an actual thing, like built into Windows.
Oh, so for like this extra for one of my monitors, I could flip them over to vertical?
Yeah, like you go to your display settings for your monitors, it'll look all your settings. Like where your taskbar would be on the bottom.
Do that, and I would have to get a mount, right? I
I
think I would get that would be really beneficial for me personally because I don't have a lot of space.
It'll probably fit on your mount the same way. Does it not have it has like a stand built in, I'm guessing then.
Yeah, because it's
okay.
Yeah, it's one of those cheap. It's a cheaper Acer monitor, so I think it might be a detachable stand though.
Yeah, you would just get a mount for it then. Yeah. Yeah, my monitors are literally built to either play horizontal or vertical, so they just twist, and then they're sturdy, so it doesn't move. So that's just what I have. I actually have 2 of them.
That's cool. I noticed I could do it with my Alienware. Actually, it lets me rotate it.
Yeah,
but obviously I'm not gonna use my good monitor for Twitch chat. my only decent monitor.
Horizon, I was gonna actually at you in Discord the other day. I was gonna at you and be Midas Legion for life. Dude. Oh man, that's gotta be such a slap in the face for Vic. I feel bad for Vic, man. Omidas did him dirty. I hate Omidas right now.
Why? What happened?
I mean, I don't actually hate All He joined Kodo. He was in Legion, and then I don't know if you know, but Legion had like their whole core for like most of their core leave, and they made a guild called Nightfall. Like they're all their best players basically, or most of them. Granted, again, but and then Omias ended up leaving that guild to go to Kodo. I didn't watch the stream yet, but I'm pretty sure it's because he wanted to make content with like big battles and stuff, and he wasn't gonna get that Nightfall because they're just kind of like a little bandit group. That's what they want to be. They don't want to like be like a Zerg. But I don't know. It's weird that he went to Kodo and not back to Legion, who's similar size in all fashions, as a guild, anyways. Not maybe as an alliance, but I don't know. It just seems weird because he. I mean, I don't want to dig into him too hard, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, he popped into the game after me, right? Way after I left. I think he popped into the game after I left the stress test, so I never followed. I didn't get a chance to follow his stream much, and now he hasn't. I haven't seen him much like right now towards like the end of the beta. I know he's been a Legion player. I didn't even know. So I didn't even understand fully what happened with Nightfall, but now I do. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. It could just be for content.
I think it was definitely like a content move.
Kodo's not the worst sports, right? They wouldn't be that opposed to letting someone hop in for some big fights.
I don't see any streamers from Kodo besides Omidas. As big as they are, you would think there would be like a few streamers.
They used to have several smaller streamers, like much smaller than me, like really small, like just probably brand new streamers. They had a few. I remember this one guy. Every single time his title on Twitch was like the Armor Smith to the Gods. I don't even remember. Yeah, he was in Kodo. There was quite a few. There's quite a few. They had streamers.
I don't know. I just don't remember. I mean, I knew Kuthara streamed for a little bit on Fat Duck or whatever his Twitch was, but it wasn't like consistently or anything. Yeah, I think Kodo has had streamers, but they weren't like. I don't know. I don't think they were ever like big, like 30+ viewer streamers. I say big, but that's big for Mortal, right? I guess in a way, or maybe that's just average now. I don't know anymore. I think Pizza Guy and like maybe like Ice Prime are like the only people who consistently pull over like 60 average.
Right.
Maybe Bratwire. I don't ever catch Bratwire streams because it's so early.
Bratwire does great as a Mortal streamer, especially as someone that's just a base Mortal community. I think Bratwire probably is.
He's so consistent.
Holding the crown. Yeah.
Yeah, he's super consistent.
Jonah definitely has by far the most viewers whenever he pops in the directory, but he has such a massive following that's not core Mortal. Bratwire,
he doesn't.
Bratwire is like a Bratwire. I think he pretty much, as far as I know, it seems like most of his following and most of his streaming has came from Mortal. So
yeah, for sure. No, Bratwire is a Mortal streamer.
Northern, yeah. Jonah's big though. Jonah's like out of all streamers, he's definitely the biggest one that hits the directory usually, like reoccurring. We have
no, watching this guy look for the backdrop he can't find. Oh, that's funny. Go ahead. Sorry, what?
We had like a lot of Mortal streamers, like through the stress test. I wonder if a lot of them will come back. We'll see. I saw the same thing happen with Crowfall. They had a lot of streamers in the beta and alpha, and a lot of them didn't come back for launch. So,
no, I mean, I don't really watch Twitch in general, but I don't watch people that I know are only here for like the clout, and then they're just gonna leave. Like, I don't want to waste my time investing my time into someone who's just gonna leave when the game drops off. You know, from the hype. I want to watch someone who's gonna be here through who I think is gonna be here for a while at least, and give them my support that way. But Like I don't know how long Jonah's going to be here. For example, like he only came for the stress set, then he immediately left onto, Crowfall or New World or whatever the fuck it was. But I'll watch him if he's gonna if I think he's gonna stick
I
around.
I think I can never blame them after being in the position that I was last year. After going full time, I completely understand when you hit a wall and you're at a point and you're like, I need to play something else and I gotta pay the bills. I feel like that just hits for a streamer. They have to do it. And I still have full respect for other streamers too, like Lyric and Asmongold, them putting a spotlight on the game. That's enough from them. I wouldn't, and if they, that's awesome that they're willing to do that. I got to role play with Lyric in Tindrum. I don't know if you ever saw that on stream. That was
I
one of
didn't
my
know.
that had to be one of my biggest moments for my stream. There was over 30,000 people on his stream watching it happen. It was awesome. Um, and I really hope that people like that come back and they definitely showcase Mortal to people that wouldn't normally be able to find it. Because I know, like, a couple years ago when I was just playing regular MMOs like Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft, I would not have found Mortal Online right now, even through just like looking through Steam. I probably would not have been able to find Mortal Online this easily. But like Twitch streamers definitely help you find games nowadays. So I definitely welcome people, the bigger streamers to come in and advertise the game. They don't have to stick with it, but as long as they're not degrading the game because they don't understand what it is, too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you really have to. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see these. I don't. I couldn't ever imagine like Lyrics or Asmongold like playing the game for sufficient, like 6 months even. Like I couldn't. I could never see that because they're not gonna have the time or take the time to uh, mesh themselves into the community. And this is like such a community driven game because of how hardcore it is and because of how much like people are gonna stream snipe you and stuff. That if you don't know the community, you're just gonna get pissed off. You're gonna leave. Like that's as a streamer,
Absolutely,
anyways.
absolutely. And at that point, if you are streaming it that long, you're streaming Mortal Online full time, and it's probably in general not a game. I think most people will be able to stream full time like that. Like usually, maybe if you're a variety streamer, you can stream full time, or a larger MMO streamer like WoW, you could have streamed full time. But even that's starting to become like risky, Um,
Like I
it's
guarantee you, as soon as Jonah starts doing like group content like minnows, he's gonna get stream sniped all the fucking time. It's just
he's
mostly
gonna
he's not
deal
getting
with
stream
sniping.
sniped now because he's just running around talking
Oh, he's
solo.
already dealing with sniping like crazy.
Is he really? It's like since
Oh
he's been
yeah,
back?
I have too. I have.
Oh shit.
I'll have freaking 10 viewers, and I'll get freaking sniped by one of them, and they'll come in my chat and talk shit.
Oh, classic, dude. You look pissed off, but I'm sorry. That's just kind of you're like pissed off. I'm sorry, dude. That's just funny because you look so pissed off right there. All right. But anyways, no, I mean it's just like again, it's one of those things like you gotta mesh well with the community. If you don't, and like you react poorly, or you react in any type of way that's funny, people are just gonna do it more and more, and that's just the sad truth of it. So. I feel like Asmongold and Lyrics could never. Well, maybe Lyrics could get away because he's such a likable guy. But Asmongold's gonna complain or rage on stream when he gets stream sniped over and over again.
Right. I
Lyrics is
mean,
probably just gonna laugh it off, maybe.
a larger streamer could maybe use their community to still remain full time after coming to Mortal, but I doubt that if you are growing from Mortal or a streamer being, birthed out of Mortal or whatever, as this is where your community is coming from. I don't think you're going. This isn't. This is a really small community right now to full time, if that makes sense. And you just wouldn't get enough subs and donations and stuff.
Are you full time streamer?
Not anymore. No, I stopped going full time. I don't know. A little bit after Crowfall
Pause chat.
started. Yeah, Crowfall went to shit,
Okay.
and viewership and subs just went down too bad. So I just started doing some real life work at the same time. So now I just stream when I can.
Yeah, I went in your stream. We were talking about Crowfall a little bit. You
Yeah.
said, "Good, you dodged a bullet." Basically, is essentially what you said. Because I was saying like I was super into Crowfall. Like this was years ago. Actually, it was back in like it was back in like 2015 when I was still playing Mortal One, and they were talking about Crowfall like in its early days. I was like, dude, this game sounds legit. It sounds like there's campaign worlds you can buy your own parcels to build on and shit. I was getting really excited because my friend told me about it, and he said he was making a guild. So I told him like, yeah, I'll join you. And I don't know. As years went by, just and like the combat and everything, it just kind of looked like too cartoony and stuff, and I just didn't like it. So I ended up not even playing it. I didn't even watch it really either.
Right.
And yeah, it's dead as far as I know now, pretty much.
Yeah, it's definitely it's gonna have to go through a relaunch phase if it wants to come back. Or something.
Yeah, moving to a different MMO, even with the MMO community prior, is impossible. Yeah, I know from experience. Yeah, pretty much. Like all MMOs tend to be pretty vastly different as far as like whether it's fantasy, whether it's realistic. You know what I mean. So like it's like gonna be like such a different like pool of like people that play that game that they're not gonna probably transfer super well from one to another unless you're already a big streamer and you could
Right.
you could suffer that penalty hit because you'll just pick up new viewers because like let's say like you have like even like 1,000 people watching you and maybe only like 700 follow you to consistently watch you on your new game. Like, well, that's 700 viewers. That's a lot of fucking viewers. So you'll get more viewers just from having 700 viewers on the new MMO. So but if
Right.
you're a small streamer and you only have 30 viewers on Mortal, you're gonna have like 2 viewers that follow you to like a new MMO, and you're not gonna have enough following
Exactly.
to garner another new following. So
Absolutely. I was
yeah.
I was really lucky. I was able to bounce between Crowfall, Swords of Legends Online, and Mortal Online. I'm really lucky. I've been able to have all three communities to stream to.
Nice.
But at the same time, I like now that I'm on Mortal, I don't have a lot of my Crowfall viewers, and I don't have a lot of my solo viewers. But I don't hold it against them.
Yeah. It's just a different game.
It's just a different dynamic, and I understand from a viewer standpoint too. Sometimes even my good streaming friends are playing a game that I just can't really get down with, so I start to just zone out watching them, and yeah, I'm not really watching them anymore. I'm doing something else. So I'm victim of it too.
I realize it's like doing the podcast is the perfect time to level my Terror Bird. It's been leveling this whole time, and it's great because I never normally have the patience to do it because I always want to be doing something else in game. I don't want to just have it sit on the training dummy. But this has like been great. It's got like 20 levels. This is great. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Northern Missouri.
Go level dominate. I don't know. It's gonna take too much time.
Can't wait to see Missouri stream Mortal again. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, what did he normally do? The only time I popped into streams like the first stress test, he was just like running around Medulla, like maybe like taming like a tar dog or something. Did he actually like do PvP?
He wasn't massive into PvP. I remember him doing a lot of more roaming and exploration and doing stuff like that. He wasn't always necessarily looking to pick a fight, but he definitely got a lot of fights brought to him.
Isn't that like all he does in Albion is like pick fights and gank?
I don't know. That's perfect example of someone that like I love his stream, but I don't like Albion the slightest bit. So I never watch him stream Albion. I've watched him stream Albion for like brief moments at a time.
Well, he makes like really, really good like quality YouTube videos for like ganking people in Albion. So like I assume that's what his stream is. It's like all about because that's like all the videos I see for Albion for him. So
Maybe.
I popped into his stream a few times and like he was PvPing. But like when I saw him in Mortal, he wasn't PvPing, so I was kind of confused. I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, if you're trying to stream Mortal full time, I wouldn't. I'm not saying. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you could totally try. But it's definitely gonna be hard.
Yeah, I've been seeing some Carney Mata and Levia and MK today since patch. Everyone's looking for that backdrop. They want to know how juiced it is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
everyone's gonna be logging in, right? I mean, my buddy told me there was a queue almost. He might have been just joking with me though.
There was a queue at the beginning.
Okay,
I
yeah.
doubt there's a queue anymore though.
Yeah. Shouldn't be. I was downloading the game for a whole time because for some reason Mortal downloads, excuse me, slower than any other game.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's okay for me, but I've definitely heard people say that. I don't know. It could be a Steam thing too. Yeah, Lyrics is one of those people who only plays Mortal when he streams. He told me that. I find that kind of odd. Like, I don't know if you can actually enjoy a game if you only play it while you're streaming.
I did it for the longest time.
Yeah, but did you? I don't know. It
I
seems
had
weird.
a lot of fun, man. I had plenty of fun playing the game on stream.
That doesn't like if that was like the only context I got, that wouldn't tell me that you actually enjoy the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to, streaming the game and playing it like always whenever I streamed it was sometimes a way to. It's a very social game, right? And if I'm not with BKO, or if I'm not with friends, at least I have chat.
Yeah.
At least I have chat, and they usually they keep it a little bit more fun, I guess. So maybe
Yeah.
that was one benefit to it, right?
Yeah.
And as sometimes Mortal might be an empty game, but you can still shoot the shit with chat while you're just riding your horse for 30 minutes. But I don't know. For a while, personally, I think I understand lyrics in a way. Or lyric, or are you talking about lyrics or lyric? They're two different people. Shit.
Lyrics is the Mortal streamer who I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I understand him, and I understand him personally because I, for the longest time, before stopping going full time streaming, I couldn't play games not live. It just felt weird. It wasn't.
This is probably because you spent so much time on games while you were streaming that you wanted like off time, basically.
Yeah, it felt like I should have been live. Like, why am I gaming if I'm not live? Like, if I'm gaming, I should be live. That was my mindset at the time. Not anymore, but that was my mindset at the time, and I couldn't shake that. That was how I thought.
But isn't that like so? Well, two things from that come to mind. It's kind of like a quantity versus quality thing. Like maybe you're playing a game and you have that feeling, but are you gonna have like quality content to share?
That's how I crushed my chance at partnership. Exactly that. If
Because you ruined your average or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was hitting viewership that was something I never thought I could get to. I was hitting like 300 viewers on Mortal.
Oh,
350,
shit, really?
200 viewers on Mortal. Jonah would raid me. There was lots of support from the community. Lots of people would raid me. They would keep me up in numbers. But the problem was me not wanting to get off the game. Me not wanting to stop going live.
Yeah.
I would just do it too much to the point that the lows hurt the highs.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's like when you had literally nothing planned, no content, nobody was on, then you wouldn't want to stop streaming because, well, maybe for you wanted to keep playing.
Right.
And then that would just drop your fucking average way down. Because I think you have to have 75 viewer average over 40 hours, is it? For
right.
partnership?
And I was streaming, I might have been streaming full time, but I was streaming more than full time. I think when we were going that hard in the stress test, you were probably seeing one of my I probably streamed almost every day that month. And we're talking 14 hours almost every freaking
Jesus
day.
Christ, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
you just don't get partnership like that. You get partnership by.
You should. You should. That should be some kind of a factor, right? Because you're.
Sorry, I heard
Are
something.
you good? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in real life, it sounded.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're taking advantage in a way by making you have like a viewer average ship. It should also kind of come down to hours too, in a way, because like you're spending more time on their website promoting games for their website, but they're kind of taking advantage of you because if you don't have high numbers the whole time, then they're gonna be, oh nope, you didn't hit the average. You know what I mean? So it kind of
Yeah,
fucks you as
all
someone who's
business
trying to
for
hit this
them.
milestone.
It's just like any other company, any other business you ever get employed by or contracted by. It's just business for them. Even like even the streamer, the Discord. Like I lost my streamer title for Mortal Discord. I let them know. I told the guy in Discord. I was like, um, hey man, I streamed the game a lot. Like, dude, look at my Twitch stats. I streamed the game over 500, 600 hours. Like, I'm a mortal streamer. Just because I haven't played it for a month or two doesn't mean I'm not a mortal streamer anymore. But they took the tags away and everything because for
Yeah,
the
they
same,
will.
it's business. It's just rules are rules. Business is business, and they gotta set the standard for everyone in a situation like that. Same with Twitch. Same with everything. I feel like
Right.
I'm just used to that personally from Twitch. It would be cool if they were nicer than that. It would be cool, but
Well, the other thing from what you were saying about like streaming like 14 hours or whatever and not like wanting to play games and then feeling guilty that you weren't streaming basically. I mean, if you're a full-time streamer, I get that a lot more. I've never been a full-time streamer, but I could see why you would feel that way for sure because that's your fucking money, you know? You're fucking with your money, you're fucking with your ability to live at that point, right? But at the same time, that's kind of like for me, it would be like a slippery slope because I've loved gaming on like PC and video games in general since I was 12 years old. It would kind of suck to lose that like what I don't know what the word is, like that enthusiasm just to play video games and
it sucked so bad for me.
not to it would feel like work at that point, right? Like where it's like I have to if I'm playing games I have to stream. Okay, at that point it's work, it's not for a hobby.
I think it was part of the feeling was I was actually making a good amount of money for me, in my opinion, streaming on Twitch. I definitely wasn't making a lot of money, but I could pay all my bills and still save a little bit of money. So
Right,
I
which
was
is a
getting,
good amount. Yeah.
right, I was getting by on Twitch. So, but at that point, I felt bad because that's why I would feel bad if I didn't go live because I'm taking their money, but I'm not live for them. And at that point, you as a streamer, you recognize that there's people that are in your chat for lots of different reasons, and some of the people that are giving you money, they're not just there enjoying your content; they enjoy your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like you need to go live. You owe it to them that you need to be there.
Yeah, I
But
think that's fair. Especially those people that would give you like 20 subs or something. It's
yeah,
not just one sub.
yeah, yeah, and like the direct amount of money, like lots of money. It's like, I gotta show them, like, I'm still streaming. I didn't just take your money and go away. That was the pressure I had a little bit there, but I think now I see a different perspective now, where I think they would have been fine with me just kind of slowing down, and they would have been appreciative of me kind of focusing on and tunnel visioning on the more
The quality side
yeah,
rather
yeah,
than
the
the
quality.
quantity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think people will definitely like appreciate it more if you come on refreshed and do like maybe like a I don't know 6 to 8 hour stream rather than grinding yourself out doing like a 14-hour stream. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I started to realize because I did so many of those super long streams and I couldn't stop myself. My energy levels at the end are terrible. My
Mm.
responsiveness to chat, my like even my rambling that sometimes I do that some people might like, some people might hate, but at least it keeps like some audio going on in the stream. Like I would go dead silent. I think there was a couple times I fell asleep in my chair.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. I get tired after like a 5 hour stream. I don't know how you do a 14-hour stream. I'm like exhausted after a 5 hour stream. I don't even know why. It's just like always be alert. You can't really take too many breaks, or there can't be two breaks, and you're just having to be like conscious of what's going on with chat and like what they can see, make sure you're not doing anything on camera that's like fucking weird, like like that guy who I can't remember his name, he like picked his fucking nose and then like ate it live on stream and it was like clipped. I was like, if that was me I would just fucking die. I'd just delete my fucking Twitch.
Die, bro. I've been so scared of those moments. I've caught myself a couple times.
Wait, hold on, to be clear, neither of us do that thing. Just
but still, I've
but
caught
yeah.
myself a couple of moments. I'm like, Are they gonna clip me doing that weird thing? And
Like
am I gonna end up somewhere?
I just opened my internet browser on stream, and I was like, while I was doing it, I was like, oh fuck, I don't know what they're gonna see. Like, what the
I had
fuck's in my internet
anxiety
browser?
for you, dude. I was so worried.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I don't even know what tabs I have open at the moment. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know why I did that on stream, but
All
yeah.
we saw was Mortal Online links, so you proved that you were just as much of a nerd as we thought you were.
Oh yeah, I probably had the Mortal forums open. I have YouTube open. I have Mortal Online map. I always have those 3 tabs open every time I start my PC. Those are the first things I do. I told Pockets that too because he made the Mortal Online map. No,
Big
Pockets
credit
is
to them. That link on the Mortal Online map has always been one of the ways I get viewers.
Dude, you probably don't even understand half the features that are on that map alone. You need to go look at that map. Click on a town. It has a town map laid out for some of the towns too, like where the vendors are, where the buildings
he's been
are.
adding onto it more and more. He's nuts.
Is the stream lagging? It looks
No, I
kind
think
of
it
choppy.
just buffered. It just buffered for a lot.
Oh,
of people.
okay.
It might be just Twitch's end.
Okay. Because it just like I saw my cameras freeze up on my Discord or something.
My stream, my Twitch just buffered. That's all.
Yeah, it's choppy sometimes. It's probably because I'm playing. What settings am I on Mortal? Oh shit! They changed the audio in the menu. Oh shit! They added like voice sliders and stuff. They added more VoIP shit. Like maybe it's just like microphone settings. I can't tell. They have a test voice option now on the audio in your settings in game. What else did they change? I haven't even looked. I didn't realize they changed anything like that. I never even noticed the language tab in the settings. Those German's at 65% translation. Swedish is... How do they not have Swedish at 100%? It's a fucking Swedish company.
Oh no!
Wait, what? How is it only 81%?
Because that's how you know they didn't pay anyone to do it.
But how is German almost the same? That's okay.
They probably paid. They probably paid other people to do the other languages, and they're actually depending on Henrik himself to do the Swedish one. So,
Arma says, "Dude, I literally love Mortal characters so much. I'm actually upset my VTube character's design is based off a design of my last MMO I played. Now you want to implement things from Mortal. Well, didn't Henrik have a VTube like Thursar thing? When are they implementing that?
Mortal, yeah, I've seen them use it on the Mortal stream. I'm logging in right now into the game.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of wacky. It was probably their first implementation of like the face rigging thing, but it wasn't bad by any standards. I mean, most of the VTuber shit that I've seen, like they look fucking wonky too. And it's never gonna be perfect.
Sure, yeah.
Probably focus on market cap for prioritizing translation work. What do you mean the market cap? I mean they're trying to meet like a standard across all languages first or something? I don't know. I don't know, man. How do you feel about like their dungeons and stuff?
The dungeons are they're looking good and they're really cool. I just want it to be, I don't know. The game hopefully scales properly for all group types.
What do you mean?
I know, like, not a small group that doesn't necessarily need to be able to go kill the Minotaur King, but
oh, you mean like different size dungeons for different size groups or something?
Yeah, different size activities for different size groups.
Well, they will, because I don't know if you saw the roadmap, but they have something called massive bosses on there for launch. Basically, so like the Troll, the Spider Queen, Minotaur, those are all tier 2 AI. Tier 2 meaning kind of how difficult and complex the AI is and what they can do. The massive bosses are going to be tier 3, which could potentially take up to like 50 players to kill. Like a raid in WoW, basically. Right. So, actually, we are going to get that. We just haven't gotten it yet because they're saving certain content for launch. But pretty much that stuff should already be done. Like, they should already be... Like, you know what I mean? Because they're the whole last month of January, they're just doing polish and bug fixes. So you got to think like the stuff on the roadmap that's saved for launch is already done because they're not going to be spending time on it.
Yeah,
So
they're just dropping it, honestly, claim. So, I mean, I hope we see a lot of cool stuff. I was kind of personally sad. I didn't like to see bandit camps non-soloable.
yeah, they're
Um,
hard now.
like,
uh,
yeah, they are. I mean,
you get
even
those
for a
two
small
casters.
group, yeah, even for a small group, like 2 to 3 guys, you still aren't probably pulling off every bandit camp, or even some, or at most. Like bandits are kind of a they're a pain now. So
Dude,
I mean, just more stuff so that way, if you do go out, it's just it's not that everyone's going to be playing in small groups all the time, but just sometimes, even if you play in a giant guild, you might embark with 2 or 3 guys to do something, to go out in the open world to do something. And it would be cool to have a couple activities that are more suitable for that small of a size of group instead of, these much larger groups that require mostly like larger guilds to have.
yeah, like so Ogmirs with their clades, the better like they scale the best with like the best armor, right? So like let's say you put a human in like steel armor, right? The Ogmir actually benefits a lot more from that steel armor because of like their damage reduction clades and stuff like that. And I went in a full steel, head to toe steel, weapon steel to go do a bandit camp. And there was a bandit camp specifically near Kranesh that like you would end up pulling like 5 bandits no matter how you did the pull. I literally could not do that camp. Full steel, solo. I did other bandit camps and stuff, like it was still hard with casters. I could not do that specific bandit camp because you would end up pulling like 5 and 2 of them would be like veteran bandit casters and I just couldn't do it. In full steel. I couldn't do a
Right.
bandit camp. It was
And
crazy.
that's even like that's mid game material, almost end game. You get
That's
in.
closer to a lot, that's a lot closer to end game than mid game.
Yeah, that's you have a lot of you have good gear at that point, and
Yeah.
yeah, I would like to see cool activities for the smaller groups. Just playable.
This guy looks like a griefer. I don't know why. I don't trust this guy at all.
There's
Peasant
someone
Viking.
getting cussed out right now.
What?
Someone's
Where?
getting cussed out in the Fabrinum Bank. I think it's
Uh,
Jonah. Yeah, Jonah's on.
what are they saying? Like,
They're blocking Jonah in the bank.
oh, poor little guy. Someone go save Jonah, quick. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Uh, I mean, I'm curious to see how launch goes. I want to see how fast like people are in like Malarium armor and stuff like that because I don't even know if we're gonna see people in Malarium on day one. To be honest with you, not like consistently.
Oh no, no, no. Yeah, Malarium, no. That's a long walk, dude. People are too lazy. Most gamers are not even too lazy. They don't have enough time to go all the way out to get a shitload of Malarium to make a bunch of stuff. That's Razorbacks, right? At least.
Uh, Campodons, Razorback, Wolves, Bears.
Wolves, bears, yeah. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be very secluded to graveyard and surrounding areas on launch. They're not gonna want to go far into the open world immediately. But I think that the players that do are gonna be instantly rewarded in that exact
Well, they have to.
exact way.
They will have to get their lores up too for like Malarium specifically and stuff like that. An Ironbone book you have to go to the jungle camp for.
Right, but those are quite well. The Ironbone, yeah, but Malarium's quite grindable, and like a Malarium, Amalge, and Bone Tissue, they're all quite grindable. I think on launch, right?
I don't know. You only get like, I want to say like how much? I think you only get like 500 Malarium from one bear stack. And I think you need what like 2K Malarium for a heavy set.
So Malarium would be a lot harder than Amalge. Amalge, well, we'll
Amalge
see.
you can get from zombies, so that's easy as fuck.
Yeah, but we'll see with the spawns in general.
Yeah, I think pigs. You can also get Amalge from pigs, but you get a lot of bone tissue and full grain from pigs. So I think pigs will be king. It will be the era of the pigs, pretty much.
I've always found that out. Whenever I want like the most piece of crap quick gear, I always kill some pigs instead of zombies or anything because I always get the same. You get the same stuff as zombies, but
Well, you get a lot more bone tissue
yeah.
and Amalge from zombies, but they don't give like any leather or anything.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you need the leather, the full green leather.
Yeah, you would need the full grain for the padding. So I would kill like maybe like 20, 30 pigs and like stack up all that leather, and then I would go kill, the zombies for the emulge and the bone tissue and get it up to like equal quality of how much I need, or quantity, I mean not quality, of how much I would need to make enough armor sets. I've had like a few guilds message me asking me for launch day and stuff if we're staying in like Haven too, because I think guilds are trying to figure out if it's going to be more beneficial to stay in Haven for the early part of launch or to just go right to Maryland. Or
Yeah, I've had that discussion multiple times with my friends,
yeah,
and it depends on multiple fronts. So you have clades. Everyone's gonna want clades, but some groups can rush bandits. Some groups that are that some people are gonna zerg. They're gonna zerg straight to these somewhat difficult things to fight because they have that many people. They have
yeah.
enough people to actually zerg it that hard. They could probably zerg it butt fucking naked almost and get plenty of stuff there. Um, Even Rhizar camps, I would not doubt that people are going to find a way to, with minimum gear, rush to those as well.
Well, you can kill Rhizars with basic like
Right,
bone tissue gear. You just have to be able
right,
to parry.
and go into the caves for the bosses. They're going to go straight to those for clades. It's going to be probably spread out, but they're going
Maybe
to.
Spider Queen's hard as fuck, man. With no gear, she hits
I,
hard as fuck.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if fighting the bosses will actually be a good way to grind clades yet. We don't
No,
know.
I would say like the Alchemist Bowman's really easy. I think he gives like 10k Clade XP still,
That's a
so that's a
lot.
lot. Yeah, like let me look at my Clade real quick. Let's see.
That would be like
So,
1,000 right now.
oh, I'm level 20. I can't see. I think it's like 10,000 or like 5,000 per level of Clade. So you just kill that guy a few times, like you'll be leveled.
Right. So I mean, people are gonna be focusing on that for clade leveling, and then obviously you can get lots of gold from Rhizards
50
and stuff.
XP. What the fuck? You got scammed, dude.
So people are gonna be probably doing that on launch, and then I think maybe smaller groups will be reserved to Haven. I don't know.
Well, you're assuming that we're gonna start with 10 Clades too. We might only start with one Clade at launch.
Even if they have one clade on launch, I still see people going straight out and just hitting shit naked.
Maybe, but I don't think that's super beneficial. One, they're not going to have any attributes. Two, they're not going to have the attributes that you would normally get from clades or like even like the war cries or anything. A lot of people use war cries in boss fights too.
It might just be the Zerg mentality, man. I mean, that's just I'm speaking from what I saw in Crowfall personally. Whenever we had a new campaign in Crowfall, we would have nothing but the first guilds that would be fully geared, fully leveled, have everything they need would
Mhm.
be the Zerg guilds that, while they were butt naked, went
Oh,
directly.
they
They
said
would go,
zero clades.
yeah, they would go straight to these camps in Crowfall and they would grind those out and hold them down. Basically, as a whole bunch of nakeds, they would defend it and Zerg the hell out of it until they had enough gear to move on to the next thing and usually start getting territory right away.
What kind
I
of Zerg numbers are you talking about though? How many people would do that?
50 to 100 at least.
Yeah, I don't think we're really going to see those numbers though.
You don't think we're going to see that many people on launch?
No, well, you're talking about per guild, right?
Yeah, yeah, each group that they probably won't even be in guilds yet. They're just going to be.
Well, you also got to remember we're going to have the login boss. That's going to be the hardest boss to get through. One. So your whole group isn't going to be starting all at the same time. Let's log in together. It's going to be, okay, I got in, and then the next 48 are going to have to wait the next hour to get in, probably.
That's true. That's true. I mean, some guilds might just get really lucky and they have that many players and they're going to get in. Other people, they're going to be waiting.
I don't know. I think it's going to be so like filtered through that they're not going to be able to rush to the boss because they're going to leave Haven and they're going to have nothing to do because their other 47 buddies can't get in. I don't know. I think it's going to
Very
be more
possible.
beneficial to not go straight to bosses, but to be farming for materials for like gear sets and stuff. I don't see it just people just rushing to like camps or something. People are gonna be like murdering pigs and shit. I feel like honestly.
Bandit camps are you still get materials from bandit camps and zombies and stuff like that, right? You still get like gear drops, right?
Not really. I mean, you'll get like 500 Incisium sometimes, or something kind of useful.
I think you can still get gear drops from like just like the basic starter weapons and basic starter gear. People will people will get away with that. I
Yeah, but
feel
those aren't even much better than like the starter sword, for example.
but it's helpful for PvE, especially when you're cheesing PvE like that.
Yeah, but it would be more efficient to just make an Emology sword from killing zombies.
Probably yeah, but
Like, has better stats.
maybe they'll do the bare minimum gearing before they rush the camps. They're gonna do something there though. They're not gonna worry about having very good gear before they push out. I think we're gonna see people leaving the graveyard and leaving cities probably as soon as they can. Honestly, just as soon as they can, as soon as they have enough people, they're gonna be going. They're gonna be leaving the city because I feel like that's where the game on launch is going to shift resource wise from what Henrik is saying. He says he's claiming that with all the spawns he's enabling and everything, there's going to be more rewarding reason to leave the city and go to open world. So I just feel like the first people to get out into the open world and get to those resources are going to be the first people to profit from them in some type of way. Could be broker, could be being the first people with the certain types of gear, certain lores, who knows.
Right. That's fair. Oh, my Terrorbird capped out because I don't have any more creature control points. Apparently it stops leveling. I just realized. So this whole time has been a waste.
No.
Oh shit. Oh well. Now we know.
How high is your Terrorboard?
It's 98. It's been 98 forever.
That
I'm
is
like,
cool though.
how is this thing not leveled? And it's at XP at a 10,000. I actually have to switch the pet.
How long it will take to do a lot of things will also depend on how your guild's operating. There's some guilds that feed things to people, so you're going to be feeding everything to one guy to build a house, maybe, because he's going to build the starter house for your entire guild. Who knows? Or maybe
Yeah, we
feeding
kind of have a
stuff.
communism approach too.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a pretty communistic approach to a lot of guilds that might get them moving really quickly for some of their crafters and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I post the patch notes for you.
Hello there. Sorry, guy. Say hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, Podsy. Can you help me?
Can I help you? What?
I need some direction. You know where to find the trader of food table and other stuff to the house?
Yeah, you got to go to the top bank. So you have to go southeast through that gate right there, and then you're gonna go up the stairs, and it's near the upper bank area. You have to go all the way up the stairs.
Okay, is the up tower there the red up tower, right? Near the
Yeah, go through this area that guy just went, and then go up the stairs.
Okay, thanks. I will try that.
you can test Atreyu. The patches. Well, I mean, the patch is up, so just test. I mean, well, unless you don't want to re-roll.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason they normalized it so people can test and get a feel for how it's going to be at launch.
So you can re-roll right now and see how long it's going to take for you to be able to craft. You'll be able to find out if you can craft swords day one, if you can craft swords in one day after re-rolling. But I don't know.
Oh, 100% you'll be able to craft swords. It's not that hard to level.
Yeah, that stuff. I figured all that stuff isn't going to be hard to level. Not that hard.
I mean, if you
It's
have a
gonna
group,
take
it's not
time.
that hard to level.
Right.
Because you can have people feed you
approach.
resources while you craft and
Yep.
shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. That's why those people are going to be moving so much further ahead.
Well, yeah, the trainer boosts you a little bit, but like I don't know, like crafting poleaxes, for example, still wouldn't take that long to get to. If you have people feeding you resources, it's not that big a deal. So guilds will be having crafted gear within the first few hours. You know what I mean? Even if it's not max durability, it doesn't really matter as long as it's max damage, right? So. Oh. All right, my Terrorbird isn't leveling.
So
Pathetic.
trainer does boost you.
Yeah, the Haven tutors. They'll boost you to like 30 in crafting and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to new magic schools though. Do you play mage at all, or you don't play mage? You just play foot fighter?
My build is all 3 right now. That's kind of the beauty of Vila. I can use a 114 bow or 113.9 or whatever. And then I use pole axes and spears. I always have both on me. I keep a spear on me so that way I can do cheesy pokes on people that are just like vulnerable, right? So I pick that out and then I do the big damage. And then I keep a pole axe on me for when I need to feint now, because spear is so slow. Even the pole axe is really slow though. It's so slow. Like the swords are so much faster, and they'll always be so much faster. But and then I also use magic, so I have all 3. I have archery, pole, axe, spear, and then a little bit of magic.
What the fuck? There we go. Yeah, look at this fucking turtle right now. Hold on, I'm gonna show it. Look at that fucking the size of this goddamn turtle. Like, there's bears in the background. Look at the fucking turtle.
Seriously, those things are so freaking big.
Look at those fucking doodly little eyes.
Yeah, whenever I see those things, they're massive. What'd you do? Fish that out in Toxai?
No, that's not mine. That's someone else's. They called it Strong Boy.
Oh yeah, you can fish those out of Toxai.
You can fish them out of anywhere.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Well,
okay.
any saltwater. I don't know if freshwater and saltwater are separated yet, but yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Buscemi eyes. Yeah, they did you dirty when he said that. You look like that actor. Oh shit! Damn, you're much more chill. Because I've never. Is it you pronounce it Ezzorath, right? Or am I saying that wrong?
Yeah, Ezzorath,
Ezzo. Okay. Yeah, I've never actually talked to Ezzorath and voice comms. This is actually how I meet a lot of people now. I'll invite them to the podcast. I've never spoken to them before. That's how I met Vaynard too. Is when he came on the podcast. He's super fucking chill guy. I love Vaynard. After you can just tell when you talk to someone like who they are, kind of in a way. And I can tell you're super fucking chill, dude. I didn't know if you would be because BKO didn't have the best reputation, so I didn't know what to expect. But
bro, no, I love those guys, man. I love BKO, but exactly that, you know.
Well, granted, let me explain more context with that. Is I got a lot of my intel from like Kodo and Legion about you because I was more close with Kodo back then, and they would tell me certain things about your group, like, oh, they're just griefers, you know, they kill people in the grave, you know what I mean? So it's like you only get one perspective with that, right? So it's like, so in a way, I've written off certain groups. Right. Like I read like Nomads, the same thing. Like a lot of people told me they were griefers, but I met those guys. They've never ever done anything griefy ever to me ever. But especially back when I lived in Fab, they super chill dudes. And it was just like it's all about perspective, man. Like they might hate your group and they might grief the shit out of you, but everybody else, they're fucking cool as shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so what do I take away from that? You know?
Right. For sure, bro. It's the political dynamic of the game. I try to not get too caught up in it. Like I know I have like Kodo, I'm KOS to them, but I don't take it out on solo Kodo players that I see out in the wild. Like I know right, yeah, like I've played the game for 700 hours. You think I gotta go beat the shit out of this Timmy that's played the game for 50?
Yeah, of course. That's mortal, man. Give me your shit, kid. No, but no, I mean the political dynamic is like half the fun of the game, to be honest. Like that's like half the meaning of doing anything is just like because of how it ties into the politics.
Right, I love it. I just don't let it get too personal.
Yeah. Now I feel bad for like Vicness, for example. You know who Vicness is, right?
He's kind of like a mystery name to me in many ways because I didn't get to see him on Twitch. I have not like looked into him enough on YouTube. I've only seen, I think, one YouTube video of him. I know he might still be the leader of Legion.
He is,
Who
yeah.
knows now because of Nightfall and all this other crap. I see him trolling in help chat lately because I never saw his name in game in my life until I saw him in help chat.
Right.
Like just the other day trolling people. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy, honestly.
Well, I was just gonna say I feel bad because he gets targeted by I don't know what to call them, but like the lesser of the community. I would say just because of the extent they go to, I mean, it is harassment at a certain point, right? Like it's not trolling. It gets to a point where it's harassment because like they'll like link his like Facebook posts and stuff, and they're basically doxing him, you know. So at that point, I would call it harassment.
Right.
And I feel bad because like I guess he says it's fine. He can take it. He gets it all the time, but it's not okay because at a certain point it's hostile, you know. And I feel bad because he gets a lot of it. Not even like a little bit, like more than the rest of it. Like it's a lot. Like yeah, it's bad. I mean, not to say that he doesn't bring it onto himself because of the way he carries himself and the way he talks to people. Sure, he probably is inviting it more than certain other people do, but I do feel bad. And I've told him, I reached out to him. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you deal with it. And he's just like, it's whatever. I'm just like, okay. like it's
Yeah,
weird.
that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
I've dealt with a decent amount of stream snipers that are sometimes pretty freaking annoying over VoIP. Sometimes I've had some Discord messages, but usually nothing gets that far for me.
There's this one screenshot because I just thought about it because I was talking about Vicness. There's this one screenshot that was like in the community. Do you remember the guild wig splitters from the first the stress test or whatever?
Yeah, of course. Because I was in BKO, I ended up playing with those guys.
Oh no. Anyways, so they kind of disappeared after EAC dropped, and a couple of them got banned for hacking or whatever. And there's a screenshot in the community where Vicness DMs one of them, and I think the quote was, "Heard your boy Duke got banned. Period. Also, fuck you." Like, that just made me laugh. Every time I see that screenshot, it's just so funny because the "also fuck you" at the end just adds like the cherry on top.
Yeah, no, I never cheated, and I remember getting so many accusations on Twitch. A lot of people were accusing me of participating in it. I also didn't know that if any of those guys were cheating, and I don't know if they were when I was playing with them either.
Well, I'm not saying that.
That
but,
definitely
yeah.
sucks that, for a while we were dealing with that. It sucks, but I'm sure it's a little bit better now. I hope that's a little bit better now. I hope the integrity of the anti-cheat is a little bit better now.
I will admit, I was on the other side of a lot of those conflicts where it was like there wasn't like a whole lot of proof, but a lot of like accusations. Not to say that they were wrong in those accusations, but from what I personally saw, like what people would like personally show me the evidence, there wasn't like a whole lot of it. Sure, there was clips and stuff, and then Duke Nukem. I mean, I was personally a victim to like his basically Gatling gun of like of a bow and arrow and GK. Like this guy like was 100% hacking, and then there was also some hack where like you could fast charge like a spear thrust, and it was hitting you for full damage. Like that was 100% like some sort of speed hack or something, right? But besides like these like two individuals or whatever, like there was a lot more, accusations, as you call it, where people were accusing people of doing this or that. And I was personally, regrettably privy to pushing this narrative or whatever you want to call it. And I feel bad because like now I am friends with a lot of people who are on the other side of that. And
Yeah.
a lot of them are just skilled individuals and were probably accused because they happen to be friends or played with or were seen near, these
Right.
other people. So,
right. I never felt my skill level in Mortal, I don't think was ever that high compared to those guys. It was my knowledge. My knowledge of being able to read a group fight and execute on the right moments and you know, pick the right targets. That is where I always did so well. But that in itself,
Yeah.
even that would cause the accusations. You know, how are you doing? You know, I remember I was one of the first people to start using that entity, the entity ability for Alvarin, so you can see through walls
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
stream. The fucker clipped it. The fucker clipped it. He thought I was using ESP.
Oh my god, that's hilarious, dude. Oh, that's so funny. As soon as you said that, I already knew where that was going.
Oh man, I was like, yeah, clip it, send it to Henrik. Do it.
Yeah, thank you for the follow. George Pedro, is it Jorge? I don't know. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And thank you, Ajito, for the sub and Gigamos for the follow, too. My bad. I usually don't call these things out while I'm on my podcast because we're just, we're talking. I don't want to be rude.
Are you sure?
But, yeah, there was also a hack. Or I don't know if it was a hack. It was either a horrible bug or it was a hack that someone would one-shot you and your reserves would go like -1,000,000.
That one was terrifying for me because I remember I was really attached to my stress test character, and I was vulnerable to that as someone that I was roaming everywhere. I would go right past cave camp, all those places. I was really worried it was going to happen to me. I was going to get singled out alone, caught by one of those guys, and I was worried that would happen. It never happened to me, luckily. I was really lucky.
Horatio? Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
Welcome in. Yeah, welcome. I know a lot of those guys a lot of them deleted their discords, and they also like changed their name in Mortal. So that's how I also lost track of a lot of the players that were playing with wigs or some of those guys. What was the other guild? It wasn't Dread. Was it just Dreadlords, BKO, and wigs?
So there was well, I'm not saying these names. I'm not calling them hackers. I'm saying the people that played together, like were allies in like the GK on that side. There was like it was either Fab Mafia or Content, basically the same people but two different names at two different times. There was Levia. There was Content. Did I already said Content. There's Dreadlords, Wig Splitters. Was VII might have been there at the time. Hard to remember that timeline exactly. They're with them now, so I don't know if they were then at that point. But that might be it. Am I missing? I don't know. That might be all the guilds.
No, sounds quite accurate.
Yeah, I think it was Fab Mafia at the time, not Content yet. But Fab Mafia turned into Content, like all the PvPers left and made like they're still a guild now, and they started recruiting recently.
I'll never forget that moment. When was Fab Mafia involved in that too? When I think it was the Tefra Crater fight.
No, Content or Fab Mafia. No, that was when I was still in Bear, El Cartel, ACES. That alliance was in the Tefra Crater, and then Legion. Who else was it? Legion, not Mer Vikings because they came earlier in the day. Legion, Mana. Maybe Integrity. I think those three guilds, they came across the map in like a 2-3 hour stream with like 60, 70 people. I can't remember the exact numbers. And we had like all the time because we had pretty much owned GK at that point, and we had all the time to prepare. And I think we ended up with like 40, 50 people, and it was either Chieftain or one of his officers, like the bear guys, who came up with the strat to bait them into Tefra Crater. I think Chieftain's words were, Vicness is strong boy. He will definitely push into the Tefra Crater 100%. So that was the strat because he knew he was just going to dive our line and push into us. And he did 100%. And I think Vicness, even to this day, was like, yeah, that was a dumb move. Like, he just didn't think we had, like, like the...
That is literally like a historical fight in Mortal to me. I still remember that. It was like that was probably one of our biggest fights we had that wasn't like a scheduled stress test fight.
Yeah, I mean,
so it was really cool. It was really cool.
I think it was still the coolest fight. There was like a fight recently that happened in sewers that was pretty much the same size. I think it was 30 versus 60. I think the Teffer Crater one was a little bit bigger still. Um, but yeah, I don't know. The sewers one was kind of boring to watch because it was such tight corridors and it's dark as fuck. Can't really see anything in the videos, or it's harder to see. The Teffer Crater one was out in the open world and at a spot that is considered in game because Tefra is, makes Chronite Ogmium. So 35 versus 65. Wait, which fight? Are you talking about the Tefra Crater or are you talking about Tendrum Sewers? I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
They're both similar numbers, so.
Yeah, they're both similar numbers. But yeah, the Tefra Crater fight was cool. It was cool because we made like everyone had bows on the on our side, and we made a fucking line right on the road in front of Tefra Crater. We just perfectly lined up, and we just as soon as we saw their horse convoy come in to like render, it was just like no release, and we just like laid the fucking bows, and you can see it on their point of view in their video that they're like their front line all turned around and the back line didn't even know what was going on because they weren't like in the same comms or something, which I thought was incredibly dumb, by the way. And
oh my,
everyone was confused at first, and then they all dismounted to push in on foot, and then they just kind of stringed in to like the Tefra Crater, and their front line got fucked because of our mages. They dropped down off the top of like a little ledge and EQ'd their front line. It was perfectly played by us. I don't think we could have played it any better.
Right.
And that usually doesn't happen with like those kind of plans, right? Like something ends up fucking up or something, or
that usually doesn't happen in Mortal in general. Fights are so much more messy than what you saw there. That was definitely one of the most organized, cool fights. It was cool to see. They're just really messy. Lots of chasing and all sorts of stuff like that, right?
Oh, the sewer fight? Okay.
You guys fought each other like straight on in the crater, which was cool.
Yeah, I think the Tefra Crater fight was a little bit bigger than that. And I don't think it was 65. I'm pretty sure it was a rough 60 because I saw a screenshot of like Kodo's channel that someone posted. I think it was like literally like 58 people. So I think it was like it could have been like 35 versus like 58. But same shit basically, I guess. Yeah, no, I definitely hope to see more fights like that and to launch when we have a lot more numbers, like in general in the game.
We got to. It's definitely one of the best parts of Mortal, and people are gonna flock to that part of the game.
So here, let me do a count real quick in my head. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 castles of people who own the castles currently that are in a siege pact agreement to either not siege each other and or defend each other if they get sieged. So 10 out of 16. So what do you think about that going into launch? Saying that probably most of these guilds will again probably get their castle or a castle.
I don't like alliances being too large in games like these after watching what happened to Crowfall. It inherently just destroyed the game. Same with Mortal at the end of the stress test. At the end of the stress test in Mortal, it was 2 giant alliances. And I would walk around and I would roam, and this was the time when I was PKing people randomly. And I couldn't kill anyone because they were all my ally. I think it definitely suffocates the content a little bit on the game. But I think at the same time, I don't think like alliances should be like completely restricted. People are gonna do them no matter what, right? If I had to choose, I would love to see maybe like 3 of these keeps at a time kind of form little packs. I don't mind it being sectioned off like that if it had to be. if people want to protect their neighbor, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like, if you've had a keep next to another guild for so long, and you guys have lived, peacefully next to each other for so long, maybe it makes sense to be allies, and you want to protect their interests because they've always protected yours, right? But just randomly allying half the server to have security is really.
I saw you go straight down.
It sadly might happen, but that's really boring.
Well, it's already happening now.
Right. Like right now with all 10 keeps, like I don't. I would. Like,
I mean,
that sucks.
I mean, like you were saying, like if they were close or something, but just knowing. Okay.
That goes back to what you were saying with the territory and the empire building, right? I agree with that. That makes sense. If Meduli wants to be neighbors with their neighbors in Meduli, or allies with their neighbors in Meduli, that makes sense. But they don't like allying half the continent into like one giant freaking Zerg sucks.
Well, they don't. The 10 castle guilds that I mentioned don't fight together. Some of them do. Granted, of course, not all of them. This is more specifically like a no siege agreement.
Right.
This is
which also sucks in my opinion, because what's the fun in that?
It's less content, right?
Right. What's the fun in knowing that you're perfectly safe and sound on your hilltop?
Yeah, because in MO1, at least part of MO1, I would say, you could only buy siege equipment from a castle owner. So if they go that route again, like, they're really safe, right? Because nobody can siege them, because
right.
You know what I mean? Like 70% of the other castle owners.
There's no sieging for the first 6 months of the game.
That's not confirmed. He's just giving like a broad estimate of his anticipation.
Oh, okay. Got it. Fake news.
I mean, that it could be 6 months before like siege really actually works. Like they might have like a maggot cannon in 3 months, right? But who's to say that it works properly? You can move it. You can load boulders. Like it's working as intended. You know what I mean? Like who knows? Like it could be a fucking while. You know what I mean?
I hope the sieging's really cool, because I'm not gonna lie, the sieging could be pretty lame if they fuck it up. I just hope it's like cool, like gameplay wise. I hope it's cool. They could make sieging like suck. I hope it doesn't suck. I didn't siege in MO1. I don't know what to expect from sieging or siege machines or anything like that. I think it would be cool to actually have like a catapult or something that can literally fucking blow a hole in a wall and you're just charging through that. That sounds sweet. But I don't know how sieging's gonna go down.
Yeah, I hope they have battering rams. That'd be cool too.
Yeah, I really hope that
gates.
you don't just like bring a 40-man Zerg up to a wall and everyone hits it with a pickaxe or something. That would suck.
No, it wasn't like that. No. There was they did add fire arrows eventually, which were used to like burn down people's houses and shit though. So you could be like more of like, it took a lot longer, granted, but like that was like an option that was available to people who didn't want to like buy cannons or wanted to stay more mobile, like if someone showed up to defend or something, you know what I mean? So that was a thing. What? I have enough pet points. Let's fuck this game. Don't make no sense. So I'm at 70 out of 79 for this pet. And it's like, oh, you don't have enough pet points. I'm like, motherfucker, yes I do. Like,
I've never played a tamer build, so
you just like looked up at the ceiling like you're like dying listening to like the conversations about that. What are you looking at?
I just saw a spider on my
okay.
corner. There's a spider up there.
Yeah, I heard him
debating killing him. Yeah, my buddies, I have to listen to them fucking talk about taming all day long. Blamed is always talking about his taming build, and for like 2 days straight, I had to listen to him theory craft this taming build that is literally like basically my build with taming added.
Yeah.
So he could have just asked me for my build.
Yeah, apparently I don't know how true it is or if people are just complaining as like a meme, but Terrorbird's people are saying are extremely OP because one, they hit really hard. Like my Terror Bird's hitting the dummy on average like 75. Right now it's not even max level, it's only at level 99. And they can almost catch a horse in 3-speed. So they're faster than horses in 2-speed. And what it has 521 health at 99, so probably end up with like 600 to 700 health at max level.
That sounds insane.
But it doesn't have any armor, so it takes like maximum damage, of course. But
Oh, that is cool. But I'm not a tamer in any way, so I'll never have one. But I'll have to fight them.
dude, if I ever move down to jungle, just imagine like having a whole guild with like terror birds, like, and they just come out of the bush on you, dude.
That would be terrifying. I mean, I would be honestly a little salty. I'd be like, really? Oh my fucking god.
Have you seen a terror bird? You want me to show you real quick?
I saw one in Fab. I see an elephant right now in Fab. I'm actually standing in the middle of Fab.
I'll show you real quick. Yeah, the elephants are way bigger, but this is what a terror bird will look like. Pretty big. Copy.
What?
Yeah, he's hitting for like 70s, sometimes 75 upward. It's pretty juicy, man. Taming is for scrubs. That is why TR is using pets. I don't think I've ever seen a TR use pets. I don't even know how you guys can call yourself Team Rocket and not use pets. Does that make any sense to you, Ezzorath?
Honestly, yeah, you guys should totally be fucking using a bunch of tames. That'd be
Just call them scrubs real quick.
scrubs.
There you go. Okay, I was gonna see. I was like, does he have the balls? I don't know. Shit, man. Well, I mean, the podcast. I mean, we could pretty much wrap it up. I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we end it, or?
No. Like I said, totally your direction. Was there anything else you were thinking of? Anything you want to bring up? Is this one of your last ones you're doing before launch? Like anything else you want to bring up about this patch? Or
Oh no, I do them weekly, dude. So I'll
okay,
have a few more for launch. So
cool.
yeah, man. If you ever want to come back on, you know, I'll totally invite you. I mean, did you enjoy it?
Absolutely, I appreciate you having me on, man. I love doing podcasts. I used to do this with Crowfall, but yeah, Crowfall.
How often did you do it on Crowfall?
I did it with a couple different times. I did it there was probably like a bi-weekly thing that we did with something called the Streamfall podcast. It was cool. It was fun for a while. And then for a little bit, even the Crowfall game channel had me and other streamers like go on their channel and kind of do something similar to this. So yeah, I like doing it.
Well, are you gonna go
love talking
live?
about games. No, not immediately. I'll probably be live in a little while though, but not immediately. Appreciate it though.
I'm gonna raid you, bro.
I would, but
dude, what happened to this 14-hour gotta go live, man?
Exactly, doing that too much.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, especially because it was kind of like last minute. I was actually supposed to have Sprillin on today. I know you don't probably know that he's an MO1 vet. Still haven't heard from this guy, as far as I can tell. He just completely MIA. But I appreciate you coming on. I definitely had a good time talking to you, man.
Hell yeah, man! Anytime. It was fun talking to you too. I've never talked to like acolyte players in general, so talking to the leader is one way to meet you guys or meet your guild.
Yeah, I mean, he even know I was the leader. I mean, he knew I was an acolytes, but
yep, I didn't know Putson was the leader. No,
I've never talked to Ezzorath before this conversation, besides like on his stream and chat. So, but yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll talk to you in a bit, and I'll probably try and get you back on maybe like for the launch podcast or something. You know.
Cool. Whenever you want me next, man. I really appreciate it, dude.
Are you planning on streaming Mortal more here coming up in this next month or so, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming Mortal like crazy once launch hits. I have one game in the way of Mortal that I'm gonna be streaming before Mortal, and that's God of War. That's hidden PC, so I'm probably just gonna do a playthrough of that, beat the game, and then that's really the only game I have planned before Mortal. So.
And then what's your Twitch name so people can find your Twitch? Is it just Ezzorath TV?
Yeah, I'll type in chat.
Yeah, type it in chat. Yeah. Post your link or whatever. And then you guys can go follow Ezzorath. He used to have like 200 viewers on his stream like every day playing Mortal 14-hour grinds. He's not gonna do that anymore, but he will be streaming Mortal. Yeah, so go follow him, guys. And yeah, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
Take it easy.
Take it sleazy. I don't know what I just said. All right, boys. Let's go ahead and see who we can raid real quick. Let me turn off my display so I don't show anything naughty. I'll turn on my game capture. How about that, dude? Look at me looking at the ground. Fucking pro. All right, let's see who we can raid, boys. Evadard, are you streaming? You streaming right now, buddy? Probably it's not in my chat if he's streaming though. Let's see. No, he's not streaming. Okay, so I got 4 potentials here. Wow, Pizza Guy has more viewers than Jonah. I guess that's kind of makes sense. He's been consistently streaming Mortal. Who should we raid, guys? We got Jonah, we got Pizza, we got Bratware, we got Ice Prime, Based Bellagio. He's in Artisans. I don't think I know anybody else. We have Horizon. I don't know who we should raid, boys. Who do you guys want? I already stole your CVS password? Dude, easy. Pizza Guy? Well, the thing is like, I could raid Pizza Guy, but he already has a lot of viewers, so if we raid someone who's smaller, it kind of helps them more, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I look at raids anyways. I mean, yeah, I could raid Pizza Guy, it's no problem, but he's got the most viewers on there of everybody currently, so your call. I don't know. I'll raid Pizza Guy, it's fine. Alright, we'll raid Pizza Guy. It's the only one anyone even said. Alright, let's see. God, I have like this fucking error. Every time I click on a link in my browser, just like, I think I have a virus. I'm just convinced at this point I have a virus. Alright, let's see. Pizza Guy. Wait, how do I... Oh, there we go. Okay, Pizza Guy. Alright, boys. We're going to Pizza Guy. I will see you guys over there. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. I'm going to try and upload this today, hopefully, if it lets me. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Amount of money.